Good morning, everybody. Dumelang, goeiemorgen. Absheni, sanbonani. Dumelang, nda, ndima choreni, ndima siare. Bonjour. Qaqaqi. At least I had a laugh so I could hear that I'm at the right place. Good morning, everybody. We are ready to start. We know there are people still coming, but we think that we should not punish those who have come early enough because of those. So before we start our proceedings, or as we start our proceedings, I will request kindly that we rise to our feet and sing the national anthem, and request those of us who are men and who are wearing hats that we kindly remove our hats. Thereafter, I will outline the program. Thank you very much. We may be seated. And once more, a very, very big good morning and a hearty welcome to everyone who has made it here so far. Sunday mornings are always difficult. There are a lot of competing priorities, but you came here to be with us today. We truly appreciate it. Before you here are members of the Portfolio Committee on Transport from Parliament. We are here, as you have responded to this invite, to hear your views regarding the rail safety bill. I will introduce my colleagues that I'm with here. After that, I will go through the bill at a high level. What are the critical things? Thereafter, we will immediately go to listen to you what your inputs are as it relates to the bill. We do know very well that there are many pressing issues that you as a community are facing or going through. We do, however, request that we limit ourselves and our input to the rail safety bill that is before us.
mme re kopa gore ha re bueng fela ka se se leng mo teng ga molaotlhomo wa rona e leng tsa tshireletsego mo diporong le mo ditereneng.
We do also humbly request that we limit our inputs so that we can allow as many speakers as possible to a maximum of 4 minutes per person.
Mme re kopa gape gore lo leke gore ditshwaelo tsa lona di tseye metsotso e ka nna mene fela 4 e le gore re tle re kgone go letla bontsi jo bongwe jwa batho gore le bone ba kgone go bua.
There are interpreters here. You can express yourself in the language of your choice.
Re na le bafetoledi fano fa lo ka nna la bua ka puo epe fela e lo tlhophang go bua ka yone.
And also there is an opportunity to submit written comments or written inputs.
Mme ebile gape le tla nna le sebaka sa gore lo ka tsenya ditshwaelo tsa lona ka go di kwala fa fatshe.
And that you can do by going to my extreme right, your extreme left against the wall.
Be lo ka dira jalo ka go ya ka fa molemeng wa lona ke moja wa modulasetulo wa lona mo leboteng leno le.
Even there you can be helped either to write or to be assisted in writing your inputs.
Banni ba ba fano fa ba tla le thusa gore lo kwale ditshwaelo tsa lona kgotsa ba tla le thusa go le di kwalela.
I will now introduce my colleagues starting from my extreme left, and that is Honorable Ketamabala Sithole, Member of Parliament.
Motlotlegi Ketamabala Sithole leloko la palamente.
Next to him is Honorable Makosini Shabangu, Member of Parliament.
Bo go tla motlotlegi Makhosini Shabangu le ene ke leloko la palamente.
Next to him, next to me, is Honorable Tamsang Ramabena, Member of Parliament.
Motlotlegi Thamsanqa Mabena le ene ke leloko la palamente.
Next to me is Honorable Miriam Ramadwa, Member of Parliament.
And then le motlotlegi Miriam Ramadwa le ene ke leloko la palamente.
On the extreme right is Honorable John Bilankulu, Member of Parliament.
Me kwa bofelong kwa ebe na motlotlegi John Bilankulu le ene ke leloko la palamente.
And my name is Lisa Mangu. I will be chairing this session, and I'm chairing the Portfolio Committee on Transport.
Leina la me ke Lisa Mangu me ke modulasetulo yo tlebeng a tsamaisa lenaneo leno la gompieno jana me re tswa mo lefapheng le le amanang le tsa dipalangwa.
So I will go now straight into a summary of the bill that is before us.
Jaanong e re ke lo sobokanyetseng dintlha tsa molaotlhomo ono o re o tshwereng.
I will by no means go through it page by page or everything that is there, but I will pick up some highlights.
Ga ke tle go bua go tswa tsebeng engwe ka go latelana ga tsone ke tla lona fela dintlha kgolo.
The bill before us, the Rail Safety Bill, seeks to improve or build on a bill, or rather an act that is called the National Rail Safety Regulator Act of 2002.
Boikalelo ba molaotlhomo ono wa rona ke go tlosa molao wa bogologolo o e leng gore o bidiwa gore ke wa tsa setheo sa tsa tshireletsego mo diporong e leng molao wa ka 2002.
And as the name says it, it's about rail safety in the main.
Jaaka halina la teng le bontsha ke molaotlhomo o e leng gore o amana le tsa tshireletsego mo diporong tsa rona.
The bill before us seeks to promote the use of rail as a preferred mode of transport.
Ke jalo molaotlhomo o fapele ga rona one boikalelo jana ke go dira gore dipalangwa tse di tshwanang le ditimela e nne dipalangwa tsa konokono tse di dirisiwang ke batho.
The bill also would be able to positively contribute to the country's economy.
Mme ebile molaotlhomo ono o tle go thusa ka tsela e e tseneletseng thata mo go tsa ikonomi ya naga ya rona.
The bill retains or keeps a couple of elements in the National Rail Safety Regulator Act of 2002.
Go na le dilo dingwe tse molaotlhomong ono o sa kang wa di latlha tse di amanang le molao wa bosetšhaba wa setheo sa tsa tshireletsego mo diporong.
The bill also endeavors to provide greater clarity on several issues in the National Rail Safety Regulator Act.
mme ebile gape moikalelo jwa molaotlhomo ono o ke gore na ditlhaloso tse di utlwalang sentle tse di amanang le molao wa bosetšhaba wa setšhaba kgotsa setheo sa tsa tshireletsego mo diporong.
The bill also introduces a couple of new concepts which are intended to enhance rail safety.
mme ebile gape molaotlhomo ono o tsenyeletsa dikgopolo tse dingwe tse dintšha tse e leng gore boikalelo jwa tsone ke go tla go tokafatsa tshireletsego mo diporong tsa rona.
Hence, the emphasis on this bill is about rail safety.
Ke ka lona lebaka leo o gatelelang thata tshireletsego mo diporong.
Our being here today in a public hearing is but one of the processes we are undertaking.
Molaotlhomo ono wa rona gompieno jaana ke nngwe ya dithulaganyo tse e leng gore re a di latelela.
We invited written comments in September 2021.
Ka September 2021 re ile ra kopa batho go romela ditshwaelo tsa bone tse di kwadilweng.
Due to the limited comments that we received, we decided to go and do the public hearings that we are doing.
Mme ka ntlha ya ditshwaelo tse di lekanetseng fela tse re ne ra di amogela re ile ra swetsa ka gore re tswele kwa ntle re ye go reetsa maloko a setšhaba.
Our intention and our plan is to go to all 9 provinces. We are on the 3rd province finishing today.
Mme boikalelo jwa rona fano fa ke go tswela kwa diporofenseng tsotlhe tse 9 mme gompieno jaana re mo porofenseng ya boraro mme ra ikonela gompieno jaana.
And that is to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to input in this bill before us.
Go dira jalo ga rona boikalelo jwa teng ke go tlhomamisa gore mongwe le mongwe o bona sebaka sa go ntsha ditshwaelo tsa gagwe.
What are the key things that the bill seeks to achieve in bullet form?
Ke dilo dife tsa konokono tse molaotlhomo ono o lekang go di fitlhelela tse di kwadilweng ka marontho?
The first one is to provide for the regulation of rail safety in South Africa.
Mme ya ntlha fano fa ke gore e batla go tlamela fano fa ka pabalesego ya diporo mo repaboliking ya rona ya Afrika Borwa.
Secondly is to provide for the continued existence of the rail safety regulator.
Mme ya bobedi ke go dira gore setlamo sa tsa tshireletsego mo diporong se tswelele pele se ntse se le teng e leng balaodi ba teng.
Thirdly is to provide for governance structures such as the board for the regulator.
Mme sa boraro ke go tlamela ka ditheo tsa puso tse di tshwanang le balaodi ba e leng gore ba tshwere taolo.
Fourthly, it's to provide for rail safety permits.
Mme ya boraro ke go tlamela ka makwalo tetla a tsa tshireletsego mo diporong.
Also provides for a legal framework to enforce compliance to this act and to deal with railway occurrences.
Le go tlamela ka di tsela tsa semolao tse e leng gore di dirisediwa go dira gore batho ba ikobele melawana e tlhobilweng e amanang le tsa tshireletsego mo diporong.
Also provides for an appeal mechanism for anyone or anybody that could be not satisfied about the implementation of one thing or the other.
Mme ebile gape e tlamela fano fa ka ditsela tsa go dira boikuelo tsa fa nako ya ha motho a sa itumelela ditshwetso dingwe tse di dirilweng tse di amanang le dilo dingwe tse di rileng.
And last but not least, it provides for a transitional arrangement from the old act to the new act once it's promulgated.
Mme ya bofelo fano fa e tlamela ka gore go nne le thulaganyo ya diphetogo tse di dirwang kwa ntle ga matsapa go tswa go molao wa bogologolo go ya go o re tsena mo go one o montšha gone jaanong.
I will now lift a few or 3 areas which I would regard as focus areas as it relates to this bill.
Jaanong ke batla go umaka dintlha di le tharo tse ke di tsayang e le tsone dintlha kgolo tsa konokono tse di amanang le molaotlhomo ono wa rona.
As I've already said, this bill, its main focus is safety.
Jaaka ha ke boletse ntlha kgolo ya molaotlhomo ono wa rona e amana le tshireletsego.
Safety for passengers, rail workers, infrastructure, vendors at stations and communities which live along railway lines.
E leng tshireletsego e leng gore ke ya bapalami ba diterena kgotsa barekisi mo diteišeneng tsa diterena, tshireletsego ya dithoto mmogo le tshireletsego ya mafaratlhatlha a ditirelo tse re nang le tsone mo diteišeneng tsa diterena.
The second focus area is additional rail access by third parties and their responsibilities.
Me e oketsegileng e nngwe ke ya go kgona go tsena mo mafelong a rona a diterena le diporo e leng go dirwa jalo ga batho ba re ba bitsang gore ke ba tsenela tumalano ba boraro mo diporong tseo tsa rona mme be go tlhalosiwa le gore maikarabelo a bone ke eng.
The third focus area is how the rail safety regulator can be improved to improve rail safety along rail lines, crossings, etc.
Mme ntlha e nngwe e be nna gore bathati ba tsa tshireletsego mo diporong ba ka tokafatsa jang tshireletsego mo mafelong a ntseng jalo le mo tikologong.
I will now go through clause by clause, but other clauses I will jump. I will highlight certain clauses.
Jaanong ke tlile go tlotla le lona ka dipolelwana ka go farologana ga tsone dingwe tsa tsone ke tla di tlola mme dingwe ke tla di umaka.
Clause 1 in this bill really deals with definitions or provisions of the bill.
Mme polelwana ya ntlha fano fa e amana le ditlhaloso le ditaelo tsa molaotlhomo ono wa rona.
Now, as an example of the type of input that we would expect,
Ono wa rona. Jaaka
Now,
sekai
as an
sa
example
ditshwaelo dingwe
of the-
tse e leng gore re ka lebelela gore di dirwe.
you might find that there is a definition that doesn't explain very well what it is defining.
Go ka nna wa ela tlhoko gore gongwe go na le tlhaloso nngwe e sa go tlhalosetseng ka tsela e utlwalang sentle ya gore sentlentle tota e batla goreng.
You can also find that there are issues that are referred to in the bill itself, but you would feel strongly that they are not defined. Therefore, your input, for instance, could be saying, I propose that you include a definition for this or that other thing.
Gongwe ebile gape be go nna le dilo dingwe tse e leng gore di a umakiwa mo teng ga molaotlhomo wa rona mme e re ga o di bala o bo utlwa ekete tlhaloso ya tsone tota ga ya tsenelela sentle. Tshwaelo ya gago e ka nna ya nna gore wena o batla go oketsa tlhaloso ya tsone o bo tlhalosa gore e bebe ka tsela e ntseng jang.
But it might well be that there is something that is nowhere in the bill, but you feel strongly that it can enhance rail safety.
Mo gongwe go ka nna ga nna le selo sengwe se o bonang gore ga sa tsenngwa mo teng ga molaotlhomo wa rona mme o itse gore se ka nna sa tokafatsa tshireletsego mo diporong se bitse le sone.
So those are the type of inputs that we would like to hear from you.
Ke mefuta ya ditshwaelo tse re batlang go di utlwa go tswa mo go lona.
All right, I jump now to clause 2, which regulates the application of the bill and any conflict that this bill might bring with other existing legislation.
Polelwana ya bobedi yone e amana fano fa le dilo tse di ka nnang tsa tlhaga ga batho ba leka go tsenya tirisong molaotlhomo ono o gongwe di dilo dingwe tse di thulanang le tiriso ya one.
Clause 4 provides for mechanism under which the Minister of Transport may exempt or approve exemptions in relation to the application of the Act.
Me polelwana engwe e latelang yona e amana le dithata tse tona a nang le tsona tse e leng gore a ka nna a rebola batho bangwe gore ba seka ba amiwa ke melao mengwe e tlhomilweng go ya ka mabaka a e leng gore a bonwa ke ene e leng thata le boikarabelo jwa bo neetsweng.
Clause 6 states the objects of the rail safety regulator.
Me polelwana ya borataro yona e bua fano fa ka maikalelo magolo a bathati ba tsa tshireletsego mo diporong.
Clause 7 describes the functions and powers of the rail safety regulator,
Me
and it divides them into mandatory and discretionary powers.
Me polelwana ya bosupa yone e bua fano fa ka ditiro le maikarabelo kgotsa dithata tsa setlamo se se laolang ka tsa tshireletsego ya diterena mme le gore ba ka tsenya tirisong jang ntlha eo e mo polelwaneng eo.
Clauses 9, clauses 10, clauses 11, clause 12, and up to clause 14.
Polelwana 9, 10, 11, 12 go ya go fitla go polelwana ya bo 14.
It covers the appointment of the board, the deputy chairperson of the board or the chairperson, and what their functions would be.
Me yona e bua fano fa ka go tlhomiwa ga boto modulasetulo wa boto kgotsa mothusi wa modulasetulo le gore maikarabelo a ditiro tsa bone ke eng.
Clause 15, clause 16 provide for criteria which would disqualify a person from serving on the board, and clause 16 provides for circumstances or process under which a board member may resign.
Me polelwana ya 14, 15, 16 yona e bua fano fa ka dilo dingwe tse di ka nnang tsa dira gore motho a ska tshwanelegela maemo a neng a tlhometswe le gore mabaka a teng sentlentle e ka tswa e le eng.
Clause 21 provides for powers or empowers the minister to dissolve the board under certain circumstances.
Polelwana ya bo soma amabedi yona e bua ka dithata le maikarabelo a tona e nang le tsone a gore gongwe a fedise boto e neng e ntse e le teng e neng e tlhomilwe.
Clause 23 and clause 24 provides for the functions of the CEO of the rail safety regulator and the appointment of staff. Those clause 23 and 24.
Me polelwana e latelang yona e be e amana fano fa le maikarabelo a ga CEO mmogo le badirikaene mmogo ba eleng gore ba tshwarisana mo tirong ya gagwe le ene.
Clause 27 and 28 provides for the funds of the rail safety regulator and describes its financial year.
Me ya bo 27 le bo 29 yone e bua fano fa ka tsa madi a eleng gore a kolekelwa ditiro tsa tiro eo mo godimo ga mo a mana le tsa ngwaga wa ditšhelete gore e tshwanetse gore e diriswe ka tsela e ntseng jang.
Clause 30 deals with the provision of processing the application of rail safety permits.
Me ya bo 30 yona e amana fano fa le go berekanwa le dikopo tse di tsentsweng tse di amanang le tshireletsego ya mo diporong le mo ditereneng.
Clause 32 and clause 33 also permits the rail safety regulator how to amend a rail safety permit, or clause 33 how a rail safety permit can be surrendered.
Me ya bo 30 go fitla ka 33 yona e amana fano fa le ka fa makwalo tetla a eleng gore a amana le tsa tshireletsego go ka berekana lone sentle kgotsa ha ile gore go direga gore motho yo o neilwe lekwalo le a ska tlhola a nna le lone go latelwa dithulaganyo tse di feng tsa gore a tseelwe makwalo tetla a ntseng jalo.
This bill before us also provides for applications for training around rail to be evaluated and approved by the rail safety regulator.
Bibe molaotlhomo ono gape o amana le go tsamaisa kgwebo gaufi le mafelo a rona a go tsamaya ga diterena le gore batho bao ba kgone go newa tetla semmuso ya gore go ka tsweletswa pele tiro eo ka mokgwa o ntseng jang.
Clause 35 therefore regulates that aspect, evaluation of training institutions and application thereof.
Me ya bo 35 yona e amana fano fa le go sekasekwa le go tlhatlhobiwa ga ditheo tsa katiso le gore di tshwanetse go tsamaisiwa ka mokgwa o ntseng jang.
Clause 41 up to clause 46 deals with the issue of enforcement and the powers of rail safety inspectors.
Me ya bo 40 go fitla ka ya bo 41 yona e amana fano fa le tsela ya ditiro tsa batlhatlhobi ba di mafelo a rona a tsa tshireletsego mo diporong tsa rona.
Clause 47 also gives powers or describes powers of the rail safety inspector as articulated in the previous clauses.
Me ya bo 47 yona e bua fano fa ka dithata tse batlhatlhobi ba tsa tshireletsego mo diporong le bone ba nang le tsone le gore tiro ya bone e ka tsenyelediwa jang ha ba e dira go ya ka molaotlhomo wa rona.
Clause 50 and clause 51 talks about powers of the minister to determine what should be a major investigation.
Me ya bo 50 le 51 yona e bua ka dithata tse tona ya rona a nang le tsone le gore go ka dirwa dipatlisiso jang ka ga gongwe dikotsi tse ka tswang di tlhagile mo maemong a tsa tshireletsego mo diporong.
As I said before, this bill provides for an appeal process or an appeal mechanism.
Ja ka ha ke ile ka tshwaya mo nakong e fetileng ke tlhalositse gore molaotlhomo ono o re na tšhono ya gore batho ba ka kgona go dira boikuelo ha ba bona go tlhokega.
Clause 54 up to clause 56 deal with that aspect of appeal mechanism.
polelwana 54 go fitlha ka ya 56 e amana le thulaganyo eo e re tlhometsweng ya dikgato tsa go dira boikuelo.
As I said also before, any legislation which cannot be enforced cannot be real proper legislation.
Jaaka ha kile ka tlhalosa molao ope fela o sa tsengwang tirisong se molao ga o ka ke wa tsewa jaaka molao o go ka dirwang ka one.
Clause 57 up to 58 provides for offenses and penalties.
Mbe polelwana 57 go tlha ka 58 yona e amana fano fa le dikotlhao le ditlolomolao.
When you do legislation, it's always supported by regulations to make it easy to implement it.
Fa o tlhoma molao kgotsa o dira melao e tshwanetse gore o tshegediwe ke melawana e le gore o tlo kgone go tsengwa tirisong.
Clause 61 deals with ministers' powers to make regulations in support of this legislation.
Polelwana 61 yona e bua ka dithata tsa tona tse a ka di dirisang e le gore a kgone go ema nokeng molaotlhomo ono wa rona.
Also, clause 63 to 65 gives the minister powers to make regulation concerning infrastructure that is affecting rail safety operations.
Mme polelwana 60 go fitlha ka 65 le yona e naya tona ya rona dithata tsa gore a kgone go dira ditshwetso tse di tla amanang le ditiro tse di dirwang malebana le tshireletsego mo diporong tsa rona.
Clause 69, as I said earlier, provides for a transition mechanism from the old act to the new act once it has been brought into force.
Mme jaaka ha kile ka tlhalosa polelwana 69 yona e amana fano fa le kgang ya gore dira diphetogo go tswa go molao wa bogologolo go tla go tsena mo molaong ya wa ga jaanong o re tla bo re dira ka one mme go dira jalo kwa ntle ga mathata.
And clause 70, last but not least, provides for the repeal of the National Rail Safety Regulator Act once we have this new act.
Mbe polelwana ya bo 70 yona boikalelo jwa yona ke go dira gore go tlosiwe molao wa bogologolo o eneng e le molao wa bosetšhaba wa setheo sa tsa tshireletsego mo diporong ha o montšha o sena go tsengwa tirisong semmuso.
As I said, I would be giving highlights of the bill. I did not go into every clause and every sentence. That was not the intention.
Ke ne ke tlile go lona ya dintlha kgolo fela tsa molaotlhomo ke sa tsamaye ka polelwana le polelwana jaaka ha kile ka tlhalosa.
Your input, however, is not limited to the things that I've highlighted.
Ka jalo ge ditshwaelo tsa lona ga di tlhoke gore di amane fela ka le dilo tse ke fetsang go le tlhomololela tsone.
So at this point, I am going to sit down and we start listening to yourselves.
Me jaanong re fitlhile mo nakong ya gore ke nne fa fatshe mme re simolole go reetsa lona.
Now, let me clarify this up front.
Jaanong mma ke tlhalosa sengwe ke ise pele re simolola.
Every input is recorded and it is written down.
Tshwaelo nngwe le nngwe e a rekodiwa gape e a kwalwa.
So for us to record properly, we request that you tell us who you are, your name, introduce yourself, in other words.
Me gore re kgone go rekota sentle re kopa gore o re bolelle gore ko ena mang leina la gago le gore o tswa kae ka mantswe a mangwe seo se tla re thusa gore re go utlwe sentle.
If you represent an association, an organization, or a body, you can tell us that body. Doesn't mean you cannot speak if you are not representing a body or association.
Ha ile gore go na le mokgatlho mongwe kgotsa setheo sengwe se e leng gore o se emetse re kopa gore o re bolelle sone mme seo ga se re gore ha ile gore ga wa emela mokgatlho ope o ka se ka wa bua sepe.
We also would like to know if you do support the bill or you do not support it.
Gape re batla go itse gore a o dumalana le molaotlhomo ono kgotsa ga o dumalane le one.
So that is the procedure we are going to do, and we are going to take 10 people at a time.
Ka jalo ke thulaganyo e re tlileng go e latela mme re tlile go kopa batho ba le 10 ka nako.
And we will take hands until we have exhausted what we want to input.
Ka jalo re tla kopa gore re supe ba ba tsholeditseng matsogo go fitla ka nako re tla me re akareditse dilo tsotlhe tse re tsang gore le tlile fano go tla go bua ka tsone.
We are not going to engage in debates of the pros and cons of this legislation or any other thing.
Ga re tle go ngangisana fano fa ka dikarolo tse di farologaneng tsa molaotlhomo ono kgotsa ka dilo tse dingwe di sele.
We are also not going to answer any questions. We are here to listen to you.
mme ebile ga re tle go araba dipotso dipe re tletse fano go tla go reetsa lona
So that is how it's going to proceed.
eo ke tsela e re tlileng go dira ka yone.
So I'm ready to take hands. If you can show me by indicating your hands who would like to speak.
Tsholetsang matsogo ke siametse go lo bitsa ba lo ikaletseng go bua.
I've recognized you at the back. Sisi, you are number 1. I go across and I recognize you as number 2. Right at the back, you can come. You are number 3. Yes, number 3. You are number 4. There was another hand here. Number 5, right in front. With the white cap, you are number 5. Did I miss anybody here? No, I don't think I did. This side, anybody I missed? Number 6, you may come. Anybody else? I might have missed. Number 7, you may come. Anybody else I might have missed? I know after the first round there are more hands than 10. People want to hear what other people are saying. And if nobody is going to fall when they stand up to talk. Okay, let's start with the gentleman here. It looks like, yes, the one right in front. I don't know the number I gave him. We'll start with him. Seems to be visually impaired so that he can go back. Let's start with those hands, and then we will then immediately just check if he's fine to speak, is okay. We'll take his details later. All right, thereafter we'll take the second round so you'll have a chance. We are ready to listen.
It's me who's going to start, ne? Yeah, no, let me feel it. Yeah. Good morning, all of you in this hall. I'm Max Matlala, a visually impaired. I'm from Ward 56, under Van Khadebe, a democratically elected councillor. I'm a Ward committee also, under portfolio of aged and disability. I'm a coordinator of a Guruland Service Delivery Forum, which is a non-governmental or a non-profit organization. So, I salute the bill based on the paper, based on the theory. So, I am going to add now and comment. So, point number 1, we persons living with disability, we are having a challenge because I've tried by my level best to read it via internet, but there is no document here in a form of a braille so that I can be able to feel that I'm democratically accepted by legislature or by parliament. You see, so I'm going to add now. To add under definition, you can add the policy must be a rule of action that is intended to provide a relative stability, consistency, conformity, and continuity. And it must be localized so that the local people can be able to safeguard their respective stations, their respective rails. Then, point number 2, in terms of penalties, whoever, it can be a high position or what, minister or deputy minister or manager or what, they must be charged. And if it's a big crime for that in terms of looting the money, he must be or she must be jailed. Then, again to add, is that the policy, let us not talk about theory. You must preach it there, saying that immediately being adopted immediately being adopted to be an act, there must be consistency. And there must be people who are going to monitor it to make sure that the policy is working effectively, because the disadvantaged, the marginalized, the vulnerable, the poorest of the poor are suffering at the ground. Now, the rails are not operating. That is why our people now, they are so confused. So I end there.
Kina Max Matala. Ki emela what 56. Ibile ki o mong wa baemedi ba makgotla a fapafapaneng kudu-kudu ao a batho bao ba sa itekanelago. Ke thekga molaokakanywa wo. Gomme bothata jwa ka ke gore jwale ka ge ke sa bone ke kgopela gore ge le dira dilo tša mohuta o le kang gore le re akaretse gore re tle re kgone go bala ka braille re kwešiše seo se ngwadilwego jwale ka ge le lemoga gore ga ra itekanela. Se sengwe gape ke gore molao o ge o šetše o fetošitšwe e le molao e sa hlwe e le molao ka kwanya e le molao, go swantse gore e be molao o tsepamego ebile o swantse gore o ame batho ba selegae kudu-kudu batho bao ba dulago goba ba agilego kgauswi le maemo a diterene. Se sengwe gape ke gore ge motho a dirile bošaedi goba a sentše diporo goba dinamelo goba se sengwe se se amanago le diterene goba dinamelwa, ga go kgathalege gore ke motho wa mohuta mang. Kotlo ke kotlo o swantse gore a otle ka kgati e swanago ka baka la gore o dirile molato go sa kgathalege gore o maemong a feng. Sa bobedi, tlhathollo yeo le tlhatholola go molaokakanywa e ka ona e swantse go ba tlhathollo yeo e kwešišago ke mang le mang gore re tle re kgone go kwešiša gore molao o bolela le rena o reng, re swantse go itshwara jwang, re swantse go lebelela jwang, re swantse go kwešiša jwang le gore re tle re kgone go latela le go seke ra dira diphošo. Sa mafelelo go swanetše go ba le bahlahlobi bao ba tlo go latelela bao ba tshelago molaong, bao ba senyago, bao ba dira gore dinamelwa mo diporong di seke di a sepela ka tshwanelo. Ke a leboga.
Good morning. Chair, I've been telling people that we've got a listening government. So when you said we're here to listen, I think the people are not happy that you are going to listen. And thank you for the opportunity. My name is Ms. Silan Tlapo. I am the CEO of the African Rail Industry Association. I will get into the bill itself. Under Section 8, we do not feel the balance of power has shifted sufficiently with the bill. The infrastructure owner, i.e. TFR, which is Transnet Freight Rail, can still frustrate access to the network via Section 8. TFR should become a train operator like other operators, and in an appropriate period of time, a new entity created to control the maintenance of the network. I think this is addressed in the National Rail Policy currently, where it talks about the infrastructure owner and the infrastructure manager. Section 50 of the bill, we are concerned that the cost of running the two entities could run away and create an efficient bureaucracy funded by operators. Regulator and council should be fully funded and controlled by Parliament. The regulators that we're talking about is the safety regulator and the economic regulator. There is no reason whatsoever why the two regulators shouldn't be housed under one roof, where it will be economic regulator, safety regulator, and they share resources, because we know that the resources are scarce. Yesterday I mentioned that the bill must be read together with the National Rail Policy, Rail Safety Act, Economic Regulator, the safety report, the yearly safety report from RSR, and the Rail Master Plan. I'm sure Ntate Maluleka can clarify the Rail Master Plan of where we are. Funding of the RSR currently is funded by operators, and the operator currently being TFR. And when you bring in smaller operators, the funding will be compromised, and we request that an alternative funding model be put in place that will ensure that we have an independent regulator indeed. The operator, having an operator and a regulator under one department tends to be problematic. The minister may intervene where the permit has been withdrawn by RSR. And this has happened before, a few years ago when there was an accident around the Pretoria area. I also like to encourage that these bills and the National Rail Policy be also used to introduce other modes of transport into the railway sector. So for instance, if somebody has a taxi business, they understand logistics. It's a matter of bringing them over to the railway sector, and to be honest, I'll prefer taxi drivers to drive the train because I know I'll be on time. The relationship between the communities. I'd like to talk to the communities. The infrastructure, the members of parliament, they sit in parliament, and we are next to the infrastructure. You can put any security measure in place, but the responsibility of protecting that infrastructure is ours. We have seen in the July unrest that it was the people that protected the infrastructure. So it's not only government's job, but also us as communities to protect our infrastructure is the asset of this country. Section 6.1.5 of the National Rail Plan talk about local industry capacity, and 6.2.2 talks about rail safety complements rail revitalization. 6.2.4 talks about skills development. That is under the National Rail Policy. And 6.1.8 talks about job creation. Like I said, when we read the acts together, we have the National Rail Plan that talks about job creation, comes from the National Development Plan, the Medium Strategic Framework, the Economic Reconstruction and Recovery Plan. Enabling intervention, I've covered that, the Economic Regulator. Currently, we have an interim one, and it does not have any statutory powers. So we like to have an intervention there. Some of the rules that are in the Railway Safety Regulator, particularly on new entrants, particularly the black community, may be a barrier for new entrants, particularly indigenous black people. And once we look at the permits and all that, transformation is key in revitalizing the rail industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Remember, you can still write if there are issues that you still wanted to cover.
My name is
little bit. Just take your seat. We just need to be interpreted first and then you will come.
Ngiyanibingelela, igama lami Masila Nhlapho, ngiyi-CEO we-African Rail Industry Association. Ngike ngasho ukuthi sinohulumeni olalelayo, uhulumeni wethu impela uyalalela njengoba eshilo wathi-ke uzolalela. Sibonga kakhulu ngokuthi nisinikeze ithuba lokuzokhuluma namhlanje. Ngizokhuluma ngawo umthethosivivinywa lo esikhuluma ngawo namhlanje, ngiqala ngo-section 8. Sengathi lapha kudingeka kube khona ukulinganiswa kwamandla okwenziwayo ikakhulukazi mayelana nengqalasizinda okukhulunywa ngayo. Ukusengathi abantu abanikazi bayingqalasizinda bangase basize ukusheshisa ukwenziwa kwemisebenzi khona lapha kwingqalasizinda yezezitimela. Kudingeka ukuthi bekhona ukulawulwa okwenziwayo kulomkhakha futhi kulungiswe yona ingqalasizinda le yokuhamba izitimela. Ku section 50 kukhona ukukhathazeka ngodaba lokuthi lapha kuneyinhlaka ezimbili ezibandakanyekayo. Bengangcono ukuba kungaba khona uhlaka olulodwa ukuze yonke imithombo lapha esetshenziswayo izinsiza zonke zibe ngaphansi kohlaka olulodwa ngoba lapho sikhuluma ngezomnotho sikhuluma ngezokuphepha sengathi zonke singafaka ngaphansi kohlaka olulodwa ukuze kugwenywe izinkinga. Okunye mayelana nawo umthethosivivinywa kukhona neminye ke ezinye inqubomgomo ezithintekayo. Sengathi ngaba khona olunye uhlelo lokuxhasa khona lapha kuzo zonke le inhlaka ekhulunywa ngayo. Sengathi ngaba khona uhlelo olunye oluzoba luvela kumuntu kumlawuli ozimele okuzoba yilona uzolawula kangcono ukusebenza ke kwezimali khona lapho. Okunye kukhona ungqongqoshe ke uke wangenelela ngaphambilini sengathi namanje angasiza angenelele uma kuba khona izinkinga ezivelayo. Okunye umthethosivivinywa ukhuluma ngokuthi kuzoba khona engifisa ukwengeza ukuthi sengathi ngaba khona indlela yokuthi namabhizinisi amasha nawo athintekayo angakwazi ukungena ngaphansi kalomkhakha nawo anikwe ithuba lokuthi akwazi ukungena ngawo ukubona umkhakha lo wezokuthutha kuloliwe. Okunye mayelana nodaba lezokuxhumana lapha masibheka udaba lezingqalasizinda ukuthi zikhona emphakathini ingqalasizinda zikhona ziningi kepha iParliament lile lalihlezi khona abantu abakule ndawo yithi umphakathi. Sengathi nathi njengomphakathi singaye sibambe iqhaza ekuvikeleni ingqalasizinda ezikhona ngoba abantu kabona lonyaka odlule nkathi khona lapha umphakathi ubhikisha kumoshakala impahla ukuthi kaba amalungu omphakathi asukumayo alwayo evikela ingqalasizinda namanje futhi womphakathi okumele usukume uvikele ingqalasizinda ezikhona. Kunemithetho futhi eminye engiyengayibala nayizolo engiqhubeka nokuyibala ukuthi sengathi ke nakuyona kungaba nokuthi icutshungulisiswe kangcono ukuze kwazi bakhona ukusebenza kangcono lama spendazi ezokuphepha ukuthuthukiswa amakhono kanye nokusungulwa kwemisebenzi. Sengathi nalokho ngathi ukubhekelelwa ukuze kwazi ukuthi kusize abantu kube khona imisebenzi amathuba emisebenzi avelayo nokuthi abantu bathuthukiswe amakhono ukuze bakwazi ukusebenza kulomkhakha wezikaloliwe. Okunye futhi ke udaba lomlawuli sengathi ngabheka ukuthi njengamanje kunabantu abamnyama bafisa ukungena kuwo lomkhakha lo kepha ngenxa ukuthi basebasha futhi bangabantu bamnyama kunezithiyo eziningi okwenza bangasakwazi ukungena kulomkhakha. Sengathi ngaba khona indlela yokubasiza ekuthweni izimvumo kube indlela ethe usetshenziswa ukuthi kulethe uguquko kuwona lomkhakha. Ngiyabonga.
Sanibona. Igama lami ngumduduzi wakwaZwane. I'm a ward committee. Yeah. Ngizokhuluma nawe vele. From Ward 47. Mina ngizo-impose whatever that you are doing. Why is that? Number one principle of government, give to pay. So when you say batu pili, you block me to express myself by saying I should not question. But the parliament came to me to express myself. How can I believe that whatever that I'm saying, you take it and implement it? I don't believe that. Because you already blocked me
and you give us the documents. These documents, you are just, it's like you are a teacher. You say, this, what is happening, Redway, the powers of what. You are teaching us. We're here to school us. So you are not here to hear us. That is why I'm saying I want to impose what you are doing. Because what you are doing is not right for the community. We represent the community. At heart, we represent the community there. And I feel strong, if I can't question you, it means I'm here for nothing. I can't question you. Because there's a lot of things that I want to question in this document. And I don't have a voice to say that. The principle of Batupil, you are not putting it in the practice. So for you to come here, it's about your own pay, your salary, and the resource of government to say we have consulted the people. You never consulted us. You are just here to impose whatever that you are saying. The discussion about all the bills is on you, because you are parties that represent us. But you are saying you're coming to us to hear what the people say, and you don't hear us. Whatever that sister says, he said it. You are not even writing it. You are not even writing it yourself. You're not even writing it. How must I believe that you're going to take everything and put it and amend this bill? There are a lot of things that are happening in Redway. There are a lot of things that are happening in our safety. It's festive, and we feel strongly that Parliament doesn't address our safety in a full way. But you are suppressing us not to ask questions. Why is that? Can we ask questions to you? Can we ask questions so that this thing can be vibrant? This program should be vibrant in asking questions to you, not hear us. I can say hello. Can you say hello there? No. Can I ask questions? Can you allow us ask questions? Please don't impose to us.
Thank you very much. I hope you'll summarize it very briefly so that we can get inputs.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah.
Ngiyanibingelela mina igama lami uMduduzi Zwane. Ngiyi-Ward committee member. Ebengithanda ukusho nje ukuthi ukuya ngenqubomgomo yebathupili ukuthi abantu kufanele ukuthi ke kube yibo abaseqhulwini. Kodwa ke manje ngithola ukuthi ke niyasinqanda ukuthi siyibuze imibuzo. Bengifisa nje ukwazi ukuthi manje sokholela kanjani ukuthi lezi zinto esizikhulumayo zizobandakanywa kulomthetho sivivinywa, ngoba khona manje nisinikeze lo mqulu ubonakala ngathi uyasifundisa nje ngathi sisesikolweni, kodwa ke nithi thina asinalo ilungelo lokuthi sibuze. Thina simele imiphakathi, sinenkinga eziningi, kukhona imibuzo besithanda ukuthi ke siyibuze, kodwa ke njengoba usihlalo eshilo ukuthi thina sifanelanga ukuthi sibuze imibuzo, ukusho ukuthi ke asinalo izwi lokuthi sikwenze lokho. Ngibona lokho ukuthi ke akuhambelani nale mthethomgomo webathupili, ngoba sengicabanga ukuthi nize la nje ukuzohambisa nje ithikithi ukuthi nikwazi ukuthola imiholo yenu, nokuthi manifike eParliament nisho ukuthi siye sahlangana nayo imiphakathi sabonisana ngayo, ngoba nina nimele amaqembu asimele nathi. Yingakho besithanda ukuthi ke sibuze njengabaholi bethu. Kufana nalo usiso sanda ukukhuluma manje, ukhulume izinto ezibalulekile, kodwa angiboni ubhala lapho. Manje siyokholela kanjani ukuthi ke zonke lezo zinto zizobandakanywa kule mthetho, ngoba okwamanje okubonakalayo nje ngathi iParliament liyasicindezela uma lingasiniki lelo thuba lokuthi sikhulume lokho. Ngicela ukuthi sikulungiseni lokho, ngiyabonga.
Dumela. My name is Gabriel Midupi from Winnie Mandela Tembisa, Ward 3 Ward Committee, under sector of infrastructure, and I'm also a community leader. I support the bill. COVID-19 destroyed lots of business, especially for us Black people. So most of people in our area, in Tembisa, we are using train as a transport. And we also worried about the time of consultation. Most of people make business in the stations and inside the train. So we need train to come back. It will going to create a lot of jobs. We want workers to work permanent, especially the security and the cleaners. We need the safety of our people inside and outside the station or inside the train. Our people must be safe because this time of life, we are worried of our people every time when they go to the stations, they get hijacked by the people inside the train, you see. So we also want the safety of our people. We want Minister of Transport to increase the security for cable theft. Because once they take the cable, it means the train will going to stop. Some of our people, they already buy the ticket of the month, you see. So we also want Minister to cooperate with us. And lastly, I want to extend the power to the Minister of Transport to improvement of a railway system, especially to cover the people of disabilities, the people who are using wheelchairs, so that it can be easy for them to get inside the train, because we know the train, when it is on the station, the train doesn't take long time. So our people are struggling to get inside the train. I thank you.
Goeiedag dames en heren, my naam is Gabriel Midupi. Ek is 'n wijkgemeenskaps- en komiteeraad lid van wijk 3. Ek is ook deel van die Winnie Mandela Tembisa gebied en ek werk met infrastruktuur en ek is ook 'n gemeenskapsleier. Ek wil net eerstens noem dat ek hierdie wetsontwerp goedkeur en ek wil noem dat COVID baie skade gedoen het aan plaaslike besighede, veral vir swart mense in ons gebied. En ek wil dit onder die aandag bring dat die mense in Tembisa baie gereeld gebruik maak van die spoorweg en van die treinstasies daar, en dat meeste van die mense daar besigheid doen op die stasies en selfs ook op die treine as ek selfs. As die trein en die spoorwegnetwerk verbeter word, sal dit baie werk skep. Dit sal baie meer werksgeleenthede skep vir die mense van ons omgewing en dit sal vir ons 'n positiewe uitwerking wees. Maar ons wil ook dit noem dat dit moeilik is vir die mense wat daar werk op die spoorweg en op die trein self, dat hulle nie altyd baie veilig voel nie. Ons wil graag hê dat sekuriteit definitief verbeter moet word op hierdie spoorweë, sodat daardie mense kan veilig wees. Jy weet, in vandag se tyd, klim mense op die trein of hulle gaan na die stasie toe, en ons is bekommerd oor hulle want hulle word beroof baie kere deur van die mense op die trein. So ons wil ook graag asseblief die minister van vervoer aanmoedig om sekuriteit te verbeter op ons spoorweë en ook om kabeldiefstal te probeer bekamp, want ons weet as die kabels gesteel word, dan kan die treine nie loop nie. Ons wil dan dus ook die minister se samewerking hiermee hê. Ons wil ook graag vir die minister vra en 'n beroep doen op hom om asseblief die spoorweg meer toeganklik te maak vir mense met gebreke en mense wat in rolstoele is spesifiek, want ons weet dat die trein baie keer baie vinnig vertrek en dan het hierdie mense nie tyd om op te klim nie. So met dit gesê, ons keer die wetsontwerp goed. Baie dankie.
No, thank you very much, Chair. Greetings to all the committee members and greetings to everyone in the hall. Chair, to some of us, bills and laws mean nothing if they cannot translate or have an impact within our own lived experiences every day. And I want to make a contribution in terms of the passenger rail itself and in terms of its safety. The only time that we can support the bill is only if it will make certain changes and certain contributions in terms of the passenger rail. Number one, we want to see an increase in the number of trains that are in operations because the limitations in terms of trains is what is causing an unsafe environment for us passengers within the trains. Overcrowding is one of the problems that we are facing within the passenger rail, and this is caused by the limited number of trains that are there. It's unfortunate that we are speaking now in times where in Eguruleni we don't have trains as it is. The last time we saw a train was before COVID, and we've not been having trains from then until now. And we are hoping that through this bill, by the time it is enacted into law, we would have trains, and that these contributions that we are making today, we will see them and we'll experience them in our own daily lives and in our own lived experiences. Number two, we want to see these train stations giving access to people living with disabilities. Those are the people who have been disadvantaged by the previous passenger rail. If you can go to any station, you will not see people living with disabilities being accommodated in these train stations, and even in the trains themselves because of the conditions which we have experienced in trains. And I want to be in detail, Chair, in terms of this one. If you can go to any train or at any given time, I'm sure a train has a certain number of people that it must accommodate. But because of this limitation in terms of the number of trains, you would find around 1,000, 1,200 people. You would see some of us hanging on the doors, some being in the corridors of the trains. We believe that if this bill does not speak to that, then it does not speak to a change in terms of our own lived experiences. This bill also speaks in terms of the regulation and the inspector. Since in my experience of traveling by train, which is, by the way, the preferred mode of transport for many of the poor of our people, because it is a cheap mode of transport and it gives us access to various places of work and where we do business. We have never seen this visible inspection. I've never seen an inspector in a train ever since. The only person I know is that one called ticket exam, that one who asks for ticket and all that. We have never seen any staff that ensures that there's safety within the train stations. We've never seen any staff that ensures that there's safety within the train itself. So we have never seen this regulation of safety within the trains. And we hope that this bill will speak to that there should be visibility in terms of inspections and all that. Because trains, as much as they are cheap, they are one of the most unsafe modes of transport that you can use. And safety does not only speak to inspections, it also speaks to crime. Because of this lack of visibility in terms of inspections and safety and security, trains are a playground for criminals. Because there is no any provision of security there, which gives us a problem as passengers. And another last point that we want to make here is that because of there is a need for this visibility in terms of this regulation, there should be a provision for an increase in terms of the intake for employment for our people. We want to be there with reflectors, ensuring that everyone has their ticket, that the trains do not take the number of people that they should take. Those people, they are staff, they are needed there so that they are employed. Thank you.
Igama lam ndinguThulani Mzamela. Ndiyabulisa kwikomiti. Molweni. Kwabanye bethu siyabasebenzisa ololiwe. Kodwa ke nje uba ke silapha ngokhuseleko yelo mthetho uyilwayo wokhuseleko. Sifuna sinezinto esizawuthanda masithethe ngazo. Eyokuqala, sifuna ololiwe bakwazi ukuba bakhuseleke. Ngoba into eyenzekayo kuyagcwala kakhulu. Abantu babengaphezu kwenani belifaneke belikhona. Nangoku asinaloliwe ekuruleni since iCovid. Zange siphinde sibe nololiwe asihamba ngabo. Singanqwenela ukuthi baphinde babe khona obololiwe. Sifuna ubona ololiwe bekhuselekile ukusetyenziswa ngabantu abakhubazekileyo. Bakwazi usebenzisa lula. Uyafumaniseka ukuthi ungena kololiwe kunabantu about 1200 endibona ukuthi linani elikhulu ebengafanelanga balikhona xa sisebenzisa uloliwe. Ewe siyathanda kusebenzisa uloliwe ngoba ibiza phansi, amaxabiso akhona aphansi kakhulu. Kodwa inye into endiyiqaphelayo zange ndimbone umhloli. Noba siyangena asimboni umhloli ozawucheka ukuba kunako ukukhuseleka apha kuloliwe. Ngoba singathanda nangokuthi siqashwe sibonakale sifake reflectors, sibonakale sinika abantu amatikiti, sibathengisela, sicheka yonke into ukuthi ihamba kakuhle. Singathanda ke kuba nathi siqasheke ngeli xesha ke kuba sibulela nalento ukuthi niye nasuka apho neza nazothetha ngale mthetho oyilwayo ukuze nathi ke sibe nako ukufaka inxaxheba. Siyabulela.
Dumelang, libitso la ka ke Pinko Halebese from Ekurhuleni, ke ho Ward 84. Ntho ke tlo bua ka yona hona jwale a se dipotso empa ke di-inputs. Ke bona re sokola haholo re le kgolomente re ntse re a morao ha o tshwanetse re pele. Ho qetelle batho ba re kgolomente o ha sebetse. Empa ile kgolomente wa sebetsa. Empa rona batho ha re kwata hobane ha rena tsebo be se re a itshenyetsa. Jwale kopo ya ka e nngwe fela ho lona ko hore tshwanetse ho tloa jwale rona Ekurhuleni ha re sana next sporo. Ho bena le di-patrollers ha o na le sporo tse tlo sebetsa bosiu kaofela ho patrolla hore diporo tse di ba safe. Hobane batho ba ha ba se ba kwatela diporong dikebeko ha di hlola ho sebetsa di sa batlo sebetsa di tla mo diporong di senye diporo ho hlopheha batho ba tshwanetseng ba benefite e leng rona setjhaba se sebetsang se hlopheileng. La bobedi ntho ke kopang hape ko hore di-training ka hare ho na le dinokwane tse fihlang di khuthusa batho. Hona jwale le December tje ba bapala dikarete ka hare ka mo ha o sa batho bapala ba hula ka nkane hore ba bapale ba nke tjhelete. So safety ya batho e tla pele. Ne nka thaba haebe le ka ba le plan ya hore ho be na le maponisa tla sebetsa o tloa hoseng ho fihlela letsatsi le dikela ho bona hore batho ba safe ka hara diterene. Hobane ha rena tsela e nngwe di-taxi batho ba palama taxi ya fetoha ka rona re a le malempa ntho re ratang ke terene and for benefit ya mang ya kgolomente hore a tlo tseba ho benefita rona hape wa e bona. Engwe hape ke bona ba bangata ba buile ka yona ke bua ka safety ya batho ba sa itekanelang, disability people. Ne ke kopa hore ho be le access terene ya rona ya hawe ka tsela ya hore motho a kena ho be na le mo ho kenang batho ba disabled ka di-wheelchairs tsa bona hore ba kgone hore ba be safe. Ke bona le tsela e ntle haholo ho rona ho bontsha hore ka nnete re rata batho ba rona kaofela. Ye nngwe hape e latelang ke ya batho mesebetsi. Batho ha ba ya mosebetsing ba fellwa ke mesebetsi nako nka baka la boleiti ba diterene. Ke kopa hore thuso hore terene tsa rona di tsamaye ka nako batho ba ska lahlehelwa ke mesebetsi hobane ha ba lahlehelwa ke mesebetsi batho kaofela ba blame mang kgolomente batho ba modimo ke le thuseng he jwale hore dintho di tjhentjhe batho ba tlo ba le thasello ho rona re le kgolomente o hobane ka nnete kgolomente wa sebetsa empa ka diketsonyana tse nyane tse sa bonaleng ho bonalang ka re kgolomente ha sebetse mara hore 2024 re tsebe hore kgolomente a boele be yena wa rona ha re etse ntho tse tshwanetseng re mamele setjhaba se bua tje rona re di observer tsa lona re haufi re di tsebe tsa lona re mamela setjhaba ntho tse ballang ka tsona a ke le thuse he le etsetse batho ntho tse batlang sa qetelo ke kopa hore le ska fella hona jwale ke ho setjhaba hobane ha re le mo ke rona fela di committee fela le ke le etele setjhaba 3 months kotali le tla ho setjhaba le botse sona hore e ka ba le sa kgotsofetse ke kgolomente na hobane batho ba le kgetha ha ba qeta ba le tshaba ha ba qeta ba blame ba re re etse netho kgolomente a sebetse ha re sebedisaneng he kgolomente tlo haufi le batho ba tsebe ho tseba hore o teng wa sebetsa re tlo wina 2024 thank you.
Good morning. My name is Pinky Lebese. I am a ward committee member coming from ward number 84. I just want to make mention of the fact that what is happening right now, there are a lot of people around who are expressing some dissatisfaction about how they say the government is working. In fact, they say the government is not doing anything for anyone. But I would like to say that no, the government does work. It is actually fulfilling some of its responsibilities. So now I think what they need here is that when we come to the matter of safety in the rails, we need patrol work to actually be performed in our rail lines, especially from morning until into the evenings, because people are not safe. There is no safety in these particular areas. The reason why I'm saying this is that inside the trains themselves, there are a lot of criminals, and this is the problem that we are grappling with. Secondly, I would like to make a request, especially still with regard to this criminal activity that is happening, because inside our trains, people are being marked from time to time. In fact, you find them sitting within the carriages while the train is on the move. They are playing cards, and then they are actually inviting people by force to join them while they are playing cards. Why are they doing this? It's because they want money. If you don't want to play, because obviously it's gambling, money is involved, so they force people to actually get involved so that they can get money. And one of the other things that I would like to mention is that there must at least be consideration for those who are living with a disability. Most of our stations are basically inaccessible to the people who are wheelchair bound. So we need the government obviously to try and make sure that some of the areas in the stations are easily accessed by those who are on the wheelchairs. And then the other point is with regard to employment. The problem, Mr. Chair, is that a lot of people have been losing their jobs. Do you know the reason? The reason is because trains sometimes are not keeping time. They arrive very late. So as they arrive late on their jobs, unfortunately, some of them had to face dismissal from work. And obviously then they start to blame the government. And we don't want them to blame the government, but we would like the government to please listen to these cries and help our people. Please help us when it comes to that. And also, don't just call up meetings like this. We would like you to please go out as members of the government to the members of the community themselves. Go and probe and ask them to see if are they still happy with some of the services that you are rendering to them. If you can do that, I think we will be able to go somewhere. Thank you very much.
Sanbonan. Sanbonan nonke endlini. Egama lami uSipho wakamthembu ngihlale ward 6 eThembisa. Portfolio economic development ngibuye futhi ngibe usomatekisi. Ngiyajabula kakhulu kulo mkhakha esikuwona namhlanje. Ngijabulela lo mqulo lo ofile. Ize noma emateksini uzosithathela umsebenzi kodwa siyakujabulela lo nginjalo ke mina. Angeke ngiqede ukukhuluma ungekho umuntu ohleka angazi ngadalwa njani. Awusho ukuthi ke ngizojabulela ngibonge kumphathi ihlelo. Kodwa nginala ngebuhlungu khona ngendaba yembuzo. Njengoba ngiyiward committee ngicelwe ukuthi ngize la angizelanga mina. Ngizele umphakathi wale ndawo engihlala kuyo. Manje ke kuzoba nenkinga ke manje kimi mangifika emuva kufanele ngiphendule imibuzo engazange ngiyithole ingcazelo yayo. Ngoba iphepha lelo sinike lona liyalicacisela lona kodwa bazoba nezinye izinto abazozibuza. Ngizothi ke lapha kunale indaba le ye safety ekukhulunywa ngayo. Siyayibonga lento enikhuluma ngayo ngoba nginenkinga lapha na ethembisa kugcine kwakhiwa amahholo. Ngisho amabonda ebekuthiwa bavimbela umphakathi ukuthi ungeqi indawo yesitimela. Kodwa kuhambe kwahiya emendleleni engicabanga ukuthi sekuyisikhathi lapho manje njengoba isitimela sizoqala futhi sihambe kuqale uvalwe lezo indawo lezo ngoba azikavaleki ukuthi yamiswa yini akukho umuntu owaziyo. Bangathi bekungayenzeka ukuthi kuvalwe both sides isitimela sitholakale sihamba phakathi nendawo ngapha nangapha kube kuvalekile. Ngibuye lana kule ye izakhiwo amathuba omsebenzi. Amathuba omsebenzi iteshi zamalokishi wonke kungesithembisa yodwa. Uthola la ngaphandle la kwazo ziyaklinwa phakathi la kuklinwa khona kuqashwe abantu mhlawumbe abathathu or abayi4 abazoklina la phakathi. Kodwa ngale kwesitimela kwesporo uthola kunehlathi elikhulu kabi eduze nestation. Kulapho izigebengu zilala khona zilindele abantu abayehla esitimeleni nabayogibela. Maye bengicabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe i-department ingakwenza ukuthi kunabantu abaningi emalokishini abaregister amakhampani bathathwe kulezo indawo bafakelwe lo msebenzi lo wokuklina ngisho nangaphandle kuhlale kuyibala nje endaweni eyangasesitimeleni ngoba umphakathi uyalimala. Babuye futhi department kunabantu elokishini amaphoyisa wethu ayahluleka ukugada isizwe. Sekuze kungenelele umphakathi hiwo okhapha abantu ezindaweni zokugibela kuthiwa ama-patrol. So bengathi ningafaka isandla nalapho abantu bangaze bakoleka imali emphakathini ezindlini kube yinina enifaka isandla ekuthenini abantu bakhuthale ukuhambisa abantu eziteshini ukuze kube nokuphepha ngoba kukhulunywa ngokuphepha. Ngiyaqabanga ngiyabonga iloko benguqela lokho. Enkosi.
Sisipha mkobe interprete asithole a next round of hands then uzawuphakama ke uinterpret. Can we have a next round of hands? Then we'll take the interpretation so that we can flow. I see 3 hands this side, number 1, number 2, number 3. This side, I see number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7. Anybody else I'm missing? Let's continue. Thank you.
I greet you all. My name is Sipho Daniel Ntembu. I'm a ward committee member from Ward 6 in Tembisa, and I am from the economic development sector, as well as I'm also a taxi owner. I'm very happy to be in this gathering today, and I'm quite happy about the bill. But then as a taxi business person, I'm quite concerned that this might actually work to our detriment. I can't help smiling because that's just the way I am. Chair, I have an issue with this matter concerning questions because I'm here sent by the community I'm representing, and when I get home, they expect me to have answers, but I won't be able to answer because here questions are not being answered. I will provide them with the bill, which is quite clear, but I'm certain that they will still have questions. Also, with regards to a safety matter, there is an issue in Tembisa because there was a moment or a time when they built walls to block the community from entering the railways, but then that project suddenly stopped. And I'm quite concerned because the trains will start operating again. But then since this project was not completed, people will have access. I was hoping that maybe if there could be a plan to close both sides and then the trains will pass by in the middle. With regards to job opportunities, in townships, there are stations, not just in Tembisa, but even in other townships, there are lots of train stations which actually need cleaning. Yes, on the inside, there are about 3 or 4 people cleaning inside, but on the outside, you find that there are bushes, which actually helps criminals. They find a place to hide there and then prey on passengers when they go to take a train. If only the department could also help in this area, because in the communities, we have people, we have businesses that are registered, and they can be able to provide cleaning services. So if those people could be employed or could be given business to go and work there, cleaning the entire area where the train stations are. Also, the police are really failing to protect the public, and then we end up having patrollers who walk around protecting people in the communities. We'll be very grateful if the government could step in and help promoting safety in our communities. Thank you.
Right, yeah. Sanbonani, niyaphila ngelanga lesonto ekseni. Ananias Masemula from Ward 77, Chairperson Community Safety. Ngiyabonga ukuthola lethuba leli. Baphathi bethu inkinga ziningi ekuhlaleni. So mina kubhlungu kimi na uthi uzwa kithi ende mara ngeke usiphendule. Kona ngeke sikujabulele lokho ngoba bese bashile ikhulumeli nengi bese sikhulumile ukuthi kuzoba nama questions emphakathini. Sizobuzwa bese sihluleka ukuphendula. Niyini base parliament kumanje kuze kuvandalizwe iteshi. Inkinga esibhekane nayo emphakathini ende abantu abaningi baluze imisebenzi. Ibhili leyo siyayibona le safety bill. So imisebenzi iyadingeka, siyafisa ukuthi i-railway ibuye, ama-train abuye, abantu bathola imisebenzi ngoba ne-crime ibhidlangile la emphakathini. So ukuze kuvandalizwe i-company ama-security yona beyikuphi ukuze kuvandalizwe iteshi lezi ngoba kufuneka ama-security njengoba ikhulumbe sezishilo ukuthi nama-patrollers akhona. Abafowethu elokishini badinga imisebenzi bakhona nabanama-tender wama-security. So besicela nje kini ukuthi nisize kakhulu iteshi nazo zigadwe ingapheli itender le yabantu or nakuphuma enye kungene enye itender yabantu so that ukuthi iteshi zingavandalizwa. I-crime ibhidlangile, imisebenzi iyafuneka. Siyacela nje kakhulu. Kokunye engizokubeka bekuthenjiswa ukuthi nayi iMloto Road yaqeda abantu. Wathiwe kuzokwakha itrain esuka from Pretoria iya ngale kwaNdebele. Asazi ukuthi iyaphelela phi indaba yeSandra ukuthi yaphelela phi, yaphelela emoyeni. So ni parliament kona niyathembisa ukuthi izinto nizozenza but akufiki ekugcineni ukuthi kuze sekwenziwe. Angazi yaphelela le project yale ye train ye R573 Mloto Road njengoba yaqeda abantu. Besicela usizo kakhulu. Ngiyabonga.
Good morning. My name is Ananias Maisamola. I'm from Ward 77. I'm chairperson of community safety. Thank you so much to the parliament for coming here to us today. We in the communities have got a myriad of problems. And right now we are not happy about how this meeting is conducted because the chairperson said they were coming to listen to us and they are not going to respond to any questions. And that leaves us in a predicament as community leaders because we have been mandated with questions to come and ask here. And now that we are not going to be responded to, it's going to be difficult when we go back to our communities because community members are going to seek answers from us because we are here representing them. Secondly, I want to touch on the issue of vandalism in the railway lines because this vandalism has cost a lot of jobs in the communities. A lot of people were laid off because trains were not running efficiently. So what I'm asking is that the railway service be restored so that people can get jobs because jobs are very important in our communities. And I also like to urge this committee to consider using security companies in those localities. Other speakers have spoken about patrollers in the communities. Why don't they be employed permanently because they are doing this voluntarily and they are assisting the communities because we really need a security to safeguard railway infrastructure. And we believe that if such considerations can be made, it can lead to job opportunities because people need jobs in our communities. And the last aspect is regarding the Moloto Road. There was an announcement made some few years ago because this road is very notorious because of the prevalence of accidents. We were told that there was going to be a railway line so that there cannot be congestion at Moloto Road. But I don't know what is the status of that project because we haven't had anything since it was announced. We are asking this committee to make follow-up on that one because we think that it will greatly assist and also in terms of job opportunities. Thank you very much.
Sanibonani. Mphathi sihlalo ngiyezwa ukuthi ke namhlambe uthi ke na akumelanga kube nama questions. Ngiyakuzwa ukuthi uthini. But noma nje ingasiphathanga kahle but ngiyacabanga ukuthi ke na uthi ke na mele size nemibono. Mhlambe ehlelweni enisibizela ngizobonga ukuthi ke na nenze le section ukuthi sibe khona nisibize ukuthi nathi sibe nemibono. Esifakayo since sisebenza igama lami uFrida Seyama hlala la eKoruleni ngise ward 8 ngiku sector infrastructure ingakho makukhulunywa ngento nge-infrastructure ngilokho kanjani inhliziyo yami ibabhlungu ngoba ezinye izinto sisakhona ukuzifaka sisebenza nomphakathi hands and hands ingakho sibe ne question ukuthi sizophendula sithini emva But into engicela kuwe mphathisilalo ukuthi kena makungabi i-meeting le yokugcina. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi kena manje bengicela ukuthi nenze i-meeting la ukuzohlala khona sibe khona nama-question sikhona ukuthi kena nathi sibuze sikhona ukuphenduleka kwezinye izinto. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi kena njengoba bososhilo ukuthi kena mhlambe silethe imibono ibhalwe phansi from then zohamba umphako lokho esiulethayo kini ukuthi thina sisebenza ne-community hands and hands uthi abahlali bathini yini inkinga esidibana nazo sikhona besifuna ukubuza ezinye zezinto but siyacela ukuthi kungabi i-meeting yokugcina awukuthi kena manje niyasihlanganisa singama-ward committee wonke wasekuruleni siyaqala kusiyikuruleni i-department yenze i-meeting next year nisibize singama-ward committee wasekuruleni sonke nizosenzela ukuthi kena la sizobe sikhuluma khona nikhona nokusiphendula kwezinye izinto asithi mhlambe namhlanje ngeke sikhona ukuphenduleka but siyaqala ukuthi kungabi i-meeting yokugcina anisibize singama-ward committee ekuruleni nisenzele i-meeting kube khona la sizobuza khona nala nizosiphendula khona siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi ke namhlanje ama-train ayabuya kuzosetshenziswa because bokuba lula makhona ama-train ku-transport umphakathi boncedakala kakhulu since kwaba khona ukuthi ama-train amile kune-problem because ku-infrastructure ivandaliziwe infrastructure right now ngokuma ngesikhathi se-COVID ngokuthi kumiswe yonke into i-infrastructure ivandaliziwe and into esizoyiqela ama-train mawabuya i-security maku-edwe i-security ema-training ngoba ubugebengu vele bese bashilo abanye ukuthi kena ubugebengu bukhona bunenge ema-training aku-edwe i-security ezogada ngesikhathi ama-train ahamba ngaso makube ne-security ema-training whatever iya kuphi iyabuya akube nama-security ema-training aku-edwe kuqhashwa abantu if i-security ncane le khona beninayo aku-edwe-ke ukuthi ibe khona and enye into kumathuba womsebenzi sinesikhalo department sidibana naso uma kuqhashwa nalento nishoyo ma umuntu applya ukuthi nifuna 18 to 35 sinenkinga ke ukuthi abantu abana from ku36 kuya le kwenziweni labantwana ngoba bayafunda baqede esikolweni maqede ukufunda bangawutholi umsebenzi ahlale until leso sikhathi leso siyacela ukuthi kena nike ni discuss nibonisane ngalento ye 18 to 35 siyacela ngoba labantwana abakhona ukuthola umsebenzi abantu bahleli bakhona una 36 ukuyale akakhona uku-apply and labo bantu basesefit ukuthi bangasebenza ngiyakhulumela mhlambe to 50 ukuyale ukuthi umuntu angeke azakhona ukusebenza mara 36 to 50 ukuya ku50 bo 45 46 48 uyakhona ukusebenza umuntu onjalo siyacela ni department ukuthi kena niyibonelele lento leyo siyacela kakhulu ngoba lento iyenzeka nje i-escalator ukuthi kena libele 18 to 35 siyacela siyabonelele ukuthi wonke umuntu kumele uthole umsebenzi ayenzeni lo 36 to ngoba angeke ngiyothola igrant kumele ngisebenze phi enye into engicelayo ukuthi
eyokugcina ke mama
eyokugcina alright eyokugcina zobuya ke ukuthi bakene omunye ngoba sewuthe eyokugcina
siyabonga.
My name is Frida Seyama. I greet you all, Chair. You said you are not going to answer our questions today, and I'm not happy about that, as others have mentioned, but I think you want our ideas. So I thank you for the invitation. I am from Eguruleni. I'm part of the infrastructure sector, and I'm very much concerned about this sector. Okay. I hope that this will not be our last meeting. I'm hoping that there will be another meeting where we'll be able to ask you questions and you'll be able to answer those questions. I really hope that you can invite us as ward committee members from Eguruleni to come and sit with you for a meeting where we'll ask you questions. Hopefully by next year, the department would invite us for a question and answer session. I'm quite happy that trains are going to return because they stopped during the COVID time. So I'm quite happy that we are going to have trains back. But the issue is that the infrastructure has been vandalized. So now, when trains do return, I hope that the security will be improved because the crime rate is quite high. I hope that there will be security guards inside the trains. No matter where the train will be going, hopefully there will be security personnel inside those trains. If you do have, I'm hoping that you are going to add more personnel to work as security officers in the trains. With regards to job opportunities, I have a complaint about this 1825 issue. What should happen to those who are above 36? Because people do want jobs, they do want to work. Some do go and study, but they don't find employment. And then they turn 36 and they can't apply for jobs. Now, what is supposed to happen to those people? I would understand if maybe you're talking about those who are 50 and above, but then the ones who are 36 to 49, they are able to work and they can't even get grants. That's all. I will return later because you said that should be the last one. Thank you.
Dzina langa ndi Aledzuri Mavungu. Ndi muraḓo wa ward committee. Fano Ekurhuleni. Ndi a fhulufhela Tshivenḓa tshi kha ḓivha tshiṅwe tsha nyambo dzine dza vha dza fhano South Africa. Una mafhungo hafha a u ḓala dzi train. Dzine dzi tshi ḓala dzi ita uri vhathu vha vhe no huvhala vhathu. And ndi zwithu zwine zwa khou itea phanḓa ha vhathu. Khou nyaga uri mulayo hoyu u tshi vheiwa kha u sedze mafhungo a u ḓala dzi train. Uri dzi vhe dzi train dzine vhathu vha kone u dzula zwavhuḓi, vha vha vho tsireledzea. Tshiṅwe tshine tsha khou dina is the issue of how train and the layman's train, where the crowd train will be given that focus because somewhere, somehow, it's bringing money, we don't know. But it doesn't talk to the masses. Let the bill say, whatever the maintenance of the infrastructure that talks to Gauteng, it must be the same, with the same infrastructure that talks to the train of the masses, so that we are able to have the free flow, so that people will be able to reach their place of work and not lose job. I think this is not address rehearsal or for the issue of saying that the committee has come, then they can meet their year end. It must be shown that we met the masses, and the masses are saying, let the infrastructure be maintained as the one of Gauteng, so that it will be able to be punctual on time to reach where people must reach their workplace. We have got many casualties who have lost their job, and we are not helping as government. And the families are looking upon those people whom have lost because of the transport that has been provided by the government with the promise to say, you will reach your destiny on time. The other issue, carry reach mafhungo the tenders. Vhathu kha vha tholwe, vha shume prasa, vha holelwe nga prasa. Let's stop the issue of tenders, because those tenders are contributing because they don't finish the work, but the money is gone. Then we'll have to get another money again to do the very same job. So let's leave the issue of tenders. Let's have people being employed direct at PRASA, direct as PRASA security, but be paid. The pay must be the government. That will help us so that everything will be professional. And let's respect the laymen, because the laymen are the majority. Because majority of us, we started by the train. But when we reach those positions, we forgot where are we coming from, where the suffering is happening. So let this bill talk to the laymen and help the laymen feel that is important.
Greetings to the committee. May I start by saying that the speaker was speaking in Shivenda and we do not have a Shivenda interpreter today. Our apologies on that one. Just going to summarize where he was speaking in English. Ukhuluma ngokuthi iGautrain kubonakala ngathi iyo ethola isabelo mali esithe caca esingcono ngoba sona sithwala abantu bomkhakha othile emphakathini. Mina bengicabanga ukuthi isabe kufanele ukuthi isabelo zimali sifane na ku Metro Rail ngoba I Metro Rail le isithuthi sabantu abampofu akuyiningi labantu emphakathini kanti ke uma singahambi kahle leso stimela njengoba sesibonile ukuthi abantu abaningi balahlekelwa imisebenzi ngendaba yaso istimela ingakho ke ngicela ukuthi kube khona isabelo zimali esanele ukuze sikwazi ukuthi sigcine inqala sizinda ikusimo esifanele ukuthi istimela sikwazi ukuthi sisebenze ngendlela efanele ngoba uma singahambi kahle ngesikhathi abantu balahlekelwa imisebenzi ngendaba ya lezi zithuthi ezibonelelwa uhulumeni ngoba kubonakala ngathi uhulumeni soyishaya indiva ke indaba yokuthi ke bagcine inqala sizinda ikisimo esifanele ukuthi izitimela zihambe kahle zingaphazamiseki futhi lokho kuhlukumeza ke umphakathi ngoba mabakhayongisa lapho bakhuluma ngokuthi hayi isitimela sizokufikisa ngesikhathi lapho uya khona kodwa akwenzeki ngendaba yenqala sizinda nakekelwa ngendlela efanele okugcina ukuthi le ndaba yamathenda ngicela ukuthi uhulumeni ayimise le ndaba yamathenda ngoba yiyo ke emoshayo lapho ngoba iningi labantu liyasebenza lapho kodwa abahlomuli kuhlomula osonkontilaka lapho ngoba yibo ke abathola imali ethe caca bengicela nje ukuthi uTransnet bonke labantu laba basebenza ngama contract ukuthi baqashwe ngqo basebenze unomphelo ku Transnet ukuze zonke izinhlelo zikwazi ukuthi zihambe kahle ngoba le ndaba yamathenda yiyo edala umonakalo uthola ukuthi abasasebenzi ngendlela efanele kodwa izimali ziyakhokhwa bengicela ukuthi le bill ibhekelele imiphakathi ukuthi imiphakathi ukwazi ukuthi uhlomule siyacela ukuthi le bill iqinisekise ukuthi izoba nosizo emphakathini ngiyabonga
My name is Bafana Ntlapo. I'm from Ward 62. Those that know where Ward 62 is, you shall remember that's where the OR Tambo Springs is coming, the biggest terminal depot in the Sub-Sahara. So it is crucial for us to have the rail bill passed because we still believe that it can still be the safest mode, it can still be the quickest mode, it can still be cheap, it can still be reliable. The question is, I think the bill seeks to address the safety part of things, but not the security part of things. The safety part of things, and safety cannot be divorced from security. Those two must go hand in hand. So if safety, I see safety as more of a monitoring and monitoring systems as well as the management aspect of things. Whereas the security is more about the operations and implementation of the aspects. So if we are saying that, then the first thing that will be talking to is about the management. Management is going to be full-time, according to the bill. But then comes the security. The security is always tenderized. Now, when you tender things, you tend to employ people that I tend to agree with my previous speaker that said the tender system is the one that corrupts the whole system. And you cannot, if you look at it, when I'm working for a security company that is private, that is tendered, the person that holds the tender tends to get much more than ourselves. We are underpaid, we are always aggrieved, we don't commit, we just participate. Meaning that when you look into I was fortunate to be involved in the past system where we were having the security police that were employed by the railway itself, where we knew even going to school that you cannot even touch one thing in the train because security was tight. They were going along with the ticket examiners in the what's name. Now, it's not only securing the commuters, but it's also ensuring the revenues because everybody will be having a ticket because there's this security that works there. unlike the ones that are tendered, that tends to stay just at the gate, and every little chance they get, they want to go and take a break. And that's when the vandalism is happening. So in all, what we are saying is that maybe making permanent the management and making some security permanent to provide oversight. Because these tenders, we don't say the tenders must go away. We know some of our brothers are benefiting out of those tenders, unfairly, unduly so, and abusing our other brothers with the tender system as well. So we are aware of that, but we say, even if they get that tender, let them deliver on what the services that they have promised. And the only way they can do that is to have the others that are full-time, that will protect their job. Because if you are full-time, you tend to think about the future. But if you are temporary, you tend to think about now. Any little chance that you get, you can inform your other friend to say, there's an opportunity of taking such and such machine over there, because you are underpaid as well. So you are trying to also increase your income in that way, like we always know what our other counterparts are doing. Everybody wants to increase the income where they are working by way of being corrupt and unscrupulous to the people that are supposed to get the what's name. So let's not create a heaven here for non-commitment and for people that are going to make a quick buck and leave us in the cold, and for people that are going to encourage for our infrastructure to be vandalized. And when it comes to this, we know this system, the railway system needs to be made to be sustainable. We are having a train that was coming from Germiston and going to Kwesine. But now we can no longer reach Kwesine. And our own people have lost jobs through this system because some of them, they relied on these trains, on this railway system. So bringing back the railway system will be a very, very lucrative deal, provided the bill addresses also the security, because we don't want to create a heaven for people in the train itself where they are criminal elements. We don't want to see vandalism happening when we have this security that we are saying it's security, but it's tendered. And they are not having commitment. They are not protecting what is supposed to be protected, the people's infrastructures. So this has got advantages and disadvantages. But if you look at it, if we can have more, a little bit, just an element of full-time security that will provide for our security systems, they will have better patrol, they will have better visibility. So if the bill can just address the security part, the safety part we understand. Now the implementation is to, seriously, are we guaranteed to go to the train will be reliable, or it will go from Germiston to Kwesine without hindrance along the way, because there's been tampering on the infrastructure, or there's criminal elements inside the train where our mothers are not safe at all. Then I think the bill would have addressed what we need.
Goeiedag, my naam is Bafana Mhlapo. Ek is van wijk 62 in Oortambo gebied, daar waar die grootste depot opgerig word. Ek glo dat spoorweë die vinnigste, veiligste, effektiefste en betroubaarste metode vir vervoer sal wees as ons hierdie wetsontwerp effektief kan implementeer. Ek wil wel noem dat dit vir my blyk dat daar meer klem gelê word op veiligheid en nie net ook sekuriteit nie, maar ek voel dat dit eintlik gelyk en hand in hand moet loop. Dat veiligheid hoofsaaklik fokus op monitering en bestuur, maar sekuriteit meer gefokus is op operasionele aktiwiteite en implementasie van hierdie wetsontwerp. En dit moet eintlik meer gepaard gaan of gelyk loop saam met mekaar. Ek wil eerstens noem dat ek dink die bestuur voltyds aangestel moet word en ook dat sekuriteitsdienste eerder voltyds aangestel moet word in plaas van om dit oop te maak vir tender. Ons weet dat tenderprosesse geleentheid maak vir korrupsie en onwettige aktiwiteite wat plaasvind. En ek dink nie dit noodwendig voordelig sal wees vir hierdie wetsontwerp om die doelwitte te bereik wat dit uiteensit nie. Ek wil noem dat met die vorige proses wat ons gehad het, het ek gesien dat daar 'n spoorwegpolisie in plek gestel is en hulle baie strenger opgetree het as byvoorbeeld sekuriteitsmaatskappye wat per tender aangestel is. Waar die sekuriteitswagte meer lukraak was oor hulle dienste en enige geleentheid sou vat om 'n breek te neem. Miskien moet daar oorweeg word om dan nou hierdie permanente maatskappye aan te stel, want ons weet dit word misbruik. Voltydse persone sal baie ernstiger optree en ernstiger voel oor hulle take, want hulle het 'n voltydse werk, waar mense wat per tender aangestel word deeltyds werk en die meeste uit hulle situasie sal wil maak en so ook kyk om eerder te steel en te plunder terwyl hulle 'n werksgeleentheid het, want hulle weet nie wanneer hulle weer so 'n geleentheid sal kry nie. Die spoorstelsel sal dan ook meer volhoubaar wees as ons hierdie mense permanent aanstel en plek maak vir hulle. Ek wil ook u aanmoedig om beter sekuriteit te hê vir die mense op die treine self en ook dat die roetes tussen Germiston en Kuzeni ook weer in plek gestel kan word en dat die mense veilig kan wees en nie slagoffers kan wees van hierdie kriminele aktiwiteite nie. Dit is daarom ook so dat ons voor- en nadele het aan hierdie wetsontwerp, maar ek dink as ons die element van voltydse indiensneming in ag neem, sal dit vir ons werklik baie meer voltroubaar wees en sal ons werklik kan sukses behaal met hierdie wetsontwerp. Baie dankie.
Sanibonani. Igama lami uThemba Thozo. I'm from Ward 59. Firstly, I want to thank the Portfolio Committee for coming, because in most cases, especially things that involve a bill, it's always Soweto. As if Soweto is the one that is controlling the whole country. I really appreciate you guys. Really, you must take us very serious. We fought in this country, specifically in Eguruleni, if you remember where we are coming from. But every time I call a bill, it believes Soweto must say something as if they are the people. We are also the citizens of this country. We are voters. So you must also come to us and listen to what we're saying. The first question that I want to ask everybody, including myself, do we really love this country? Are we proud to be South Africans? Because some of these things, are things that are really unnecessary to me. If we love this country, we look at Indayenzagele, amatrainer wasekho emalokishini. Things that were benefiting us as South Africans. Where were we as citizens? Where was our government? Guys, we're not serious about our country. Some of these things, we don't even have to talk about them. Those are the things that's supposed to be running in our DNA, to say this is our country. This infrastructure, it's our money, our tax money, that we're supposed to respect. Everybody has spoken. Guys, we've been blaming a previous government. But what are we doing differently? Guys, whatever system or government is ozanayo, if Tina as the citizen of this country, we don't respect it. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of resources. Guys, Sikuletina Menamankula, I was born in Katlahong. But was ukuthi ukudlalela nje sporweni as a child kwi danger. Kunamaphoyisa ka railway azodila nawe. Bongacabanga nokucabanga ukudlalela esiporweni. That's how we grew up. Today, a foreigner, a South African, bayafana, we vandalize our own infrastructures. Today we come and talk about its safety. Is it gonna work? Because even a policing system here too, security clusters, they are not working, they are a joke. We don't have a country, guys. As politicians, you are busy fighting instead of building the country. You are fighting amongst each other. Who's better or who speaks better than the other? We're not building the country. This is our country. Some of us guys, this country is collapsing. This is our last hope. This is our home. We have no other place to run to. We don't have choice. We have to make this country work. Irrespective of who pete. Let's rally around whoever that is in control. Guys, our country is going down the drain. We're following the footsteps of Zimbabwe and these other countries. We're failing ourselves as the country. You know, last year in July, I was looking at one small section. Section was in Dow. Baby Zitla in the corner, in a Molanian and Jingana, Molanian. Everything, willing to die for their mall. But of vandalize. This is our property. In the service as the communities. Why didn't we do the same as to all infrastructures of government? Instead, you find politicians influencing us communities. We must go and vandalize. So that party is not governing. Yet we are saying we love this country. We don't love the country. We are still blinded by politics, color, all these funny things. Guys, mina ngifuna le bill ikhulume nathi as South Africans, all of us, irrespective of race, irrespective of ukuthi ubuya kuphi. But the bill must talk to every South African. We must be proud. We must be saying, yazini, participate for this bill to be working. I don't know if it makes sense. Sizoloko sehlala sibuya la kukhulunywa nge-safety. But safety must start with us, South Africans, to respect our money. It's our money, government. It's our money, it's our taxes. Let us consider when we go to stores, when we do whatever that we do. But for example, if we kukhulunywa mina ngifuna ukuphuma kancane kwi-passenger rail. Kukhulunywa ngalezi ezilesha impahla, ezilesha ini. If kunganikezwa i-opportunities, even abantu abazilimele emakhaya ukuthi umbila wakho uhambisa kanjani usuka kaNongoma uye eLimpopo, for example. Olima ubanana or olima imango eLimpopo uyisa kanjani eKZN through i-train. Sizokwazi ukuthi whatever eleshwe lapha yana asikwazi ukuyivandalize because yinto kabhuti wami leleshwe lapha yana iyonceda udade wethu eNatali. Masingaba that mentality ukuthi whatever elapha yana, it also involves me as a small business. Lapha yana nginento enginayo, ngine interest because it's my goods that are there. South Africans, let's talk. I'm very disappointed ukuthi nisitaya ngesikhathi. But some of these things we need to talk. The bill imnandi, but bill must talk to us. Qala, bill must isebenze kithi. Kunalana le bill ithi khona uminister uye okumele akhethe iboard, especially ulona ilona ichairperson. Mina ngibona ingathi kuna problem lapho. What if a minister ukhetha abantu azoba controller? Why kungathiwa, for example, lapho nina nihleli lapho, all of you are from different political parties. Why kungabi yini abakhetha the person ozoba in charge? Sigcina sinabantu abangacontrol, sigcina sinabantu abacorrupt is because bakhetha uminister and uminister uzokhetha abantu through politics. ukuthi lo muntu lona uaffiliate under my politics. Sigcina sinama entities angasebenzi is because of politics. Ake sibeke ne-politics aside and build the country. Uminister bakangabikho involved kuyo yonke into because sigcina abominister bethu baso ba-corrupt bangabandlova iphendulwa because uyazi ukuthi yimi othatha i-decision noma irongo angeke niphikise nina. You will support it. Say, magabaphele, guys. Let's build the country. Minister sometimes magaga account minister to us as the public. Even yourselves, guys, you must account to us. Talk to us. But guys, everything is South Africa. Imnand my palepepen implementation. Asibosho masiyigebengu si South Africans. Masibosho masimosha kwa government. Simosha our own infrastructures. Kuyazi ukuthi umuntu omosha lapha yana hey ubuzoboshwa i10 years uyangena ejele ngaphakathi akuna bail akuna anything. Sigcina sila sikhona because there's no law. Esazi ukuthi sizoshaywa and masishaywa yazi ngizohamba ngiyodonsa wamosha lapha ka railway uzoboshwa. Nini because the very same taxi owners ziyafika zimoshe lapha yana ziyazi ngalelo ngithanda ngeke ihambe zifuna imali. Azogijima ama taxi yiwo. It's us that are destroying the country. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga baba.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu ngicela ukuthi ngiqale ngibingelele iParliament ngibonge naleli thuba okunye nje bengithanda ukuthi ngikuphawule ukuthi siyabonga njengoba nize lakithi ngoba esikhathini esiningi siye saqaphela ukuthi imihlangano ebalulekile efana nalena imikiswa le eSoweto kuphela kula kubonakala ngathi iSoweto iyo engathi yona iqavile kakhulu kunezinye izindawo ngoba zonke izinto zimikiswa lapho eSoweto kodwa namuhla siyabonga ukuthi ilethwe ngapha ngakithi ukuthi nathi sizokwazi nje ukuthi siphonse esivivaneni. Bengithanda nje ukuthi ngiqale ngokuthi isimo esizithola sikiso njengemphakathi kuyisimo ukuthi asisihle neze kodwa ke thingisho ukuthi ize susekela lo mthetho osivivinywa kodwa ngithanda nje ukuthi ke sisho ukuthi kufanele ukuthi ke sibhekelele udaba lezokuphepha la etimeleni ngoba kuyangikhathaza kakhulu khona manje indaba yokuthi sinikezwe isikhathi kanti ezinye izinto ngeke size sikwazi nokuthi sikhulume ngazo. Kanti ngithanda ukusho ukuthi uma sesibheka lezi zinhlelo kahle sithola ukuthi inkinga ekhona uma sibhekelela zonke lezi zinto abasithola ukuthi into eyenzeka la ukuthi thina ngokwethu njengezakhamuzi zaseningizimu Afrika yithi abantu abacekela phansi inqalasizinda kufanele ukuthi isilekelele njengemiphakathi. Manje bengicela nje ukuthi sikubhekisise lokho kakhulu ngoba kuyinkinga ngoba sibona ke nabaholi bethu esikhathini esiningi yibo ke abantu uthola ukuthi kunanokuthi babhekelele ukwakha isizwe uthole ukuthi kuba khona izinkinga zokuthi bayalwa ubona ngokwabo abanye bathi hayi lona ungcono umunye abone ngathi hayi lo munye akaphathi kahle noma akasebenzi kahle. Uma ke singalungisa ke lezo zinto ezifana nalezo ngiyacabanga ukuthi kungaba khona ukusebenzisana ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi siqhubekele phambili. Uma sesibhekisisa kahle le ndaba yezokuphepha kuloliwe mina ngakhulela lapha eKatlehong kanti besazi sesebancane ukuthi afanelanga ukuthi sidlalele lapha kuloliwe noma kujantshi ngoba siyazi ukuthi kunobungozi kanti nabazali nabo babehlezi nje begcizelela lokho kodwa namuhla sokuhlukile izakhamuzi zaseningizimu Afrika nabahambeli kuleli ababuye emazweni angaphandle ngibona kufanana nje bonke bacekela phansi inqala sizinda kodwa mhlawumbe ke kungendaba yezinkinga ezikhona emphakathini lapho abantu bengasanakho ukuzikhethela bagcina sebaya bayocekela phansi lezo lenqala sizinda uma sicekela phansi izwe lethu akukho nje la sizoya khona ngoba kuzobonakala ngathi sesilanda isimo saseZimbabwe uma singaqaphelisisi kahle bengicela ukuthi ke sibhekisise kahle le ndaba ngoba siyakhumbula ngenkathi ke kuba khona ukubhikisha ngoJuly ngabona kwelinye ilokishi laphana izakhamuzi zakulo yomphakathi bavikela uchungechunge lezitolo lapho imall bathi haya ngeke nize nicekele phansi ngoba inceda thina singabahlali balapha manje besicela nje ukuthi sibhekisise kahle leyo ndawo ngoba ke bakhombise uthando lomphakathi wabo kanti ngesinye isikhathi kufanele ukuthi sibukisise kukhona osopolitiki abanokuncenca abantu ukuthi bayocekela phansi inqala sizinda ngoba akusiyibo abaphethe mhlambe sokuphethe iqembu eliphikisayo nayo leyo into ukuthi ngicela nje ukuthi ke sibhekisise kahle ukuthi singacekeli phansi inqala sizinda ngendaba ukuthi ke kuphethe usopolitiki mhlambe esingahambelani nemiqondo yakhe uthi ngomthetho sivivinywa bengicela ukuthi lo mthetho sivivinywa ubhekelele izidingo zomphakathi njengabahlali baseningizimu Afrika futhi singajabula kakhulu uma singabona imiphumela emihle ifika emphakathini ukubonisa ukuthi siye sabamba iqhaza njengomphakathi kulezi zindaba zokuphepha ngoba ukuphepha nje kuqala ngamuntu munye nokuthi sisebenze ngokubambisana njengomphakathi okunye futhi ukuthi uma sengiphawula ngendaba ke ukuthi itimela lezi zilayisha imithwalo futhi kuyasilekelela nathi njengomphakathi
interpreter yakule ndawo ine minister ne recommendation ekugcineni please lene board no minister
thank you chair uma siza ke kuleyo ndawo yeboard ukuthi kukhona indaba yokuthi uminister noma ungqongqoshe uye onamagunya ukuthi aqoke ibhodi mina ngibona ukuthi kuba khona ukuncukuzana kwentshisekelo lapho ngoba uma ungqongqoshe unamagunya ukuqoka ibhodi uyoqoka abantu ababuya eqenjini lakho lezombusazwe unganaki abanye abantu abanawo amakhono mina bengiphakamisa ukuthi ikomiti njengoba nibuya kumaqembu ahlukahlukene wezepolitiki ukuthi lelo gunya balinikeze nina ukuze nikwazi ukuthi nikhethe umuntu ongachemile ozokwazi ukuthi enze umsebenzi ngendlela efanele esebenzekayo enemiphumela ngoba ungqongqoshe yena uyokhetha umuntu obuya naye eqenjini uma sokunenkinga ungqongqoshe akasakwazi ukuthi ke akhulumisane naye ukuthi alungise kuleyo ndawo ngiyabonga
sanibonani mina ngubashini wakamalinga ngivela eTsakane Ward 85 Community Safety ibill le yes ngiyayisupporta but on conditions okokuqala iquestion yami ukuthi rada iprasa or isanral obokumele ukuthi ingene eTsakane via Germiston bokumele kube nesiporo esisuka ngase Heidelberg Nigel sizongena la eTsakane via Germiston siyophelela eBrakpan ukuthi yaphelela lento leyo I don't know ngiyathanda ukuthi niyibuyise leyo nto leyo kube nesiporo esingenayo Germiston eTsakane via Germiston siye eBrakpan leyo izonceda ukwenza i-job creation lapha eTsakane And then ngibuye futhi nginenze aware ukuthi ama project lawo okubuyisa ama train mayelana ne security futhi ngaphakathi. Ubhuti obekashilo la bekakhona la phambili asho athi kuzoyenzakala ukuthi kuthathwe ngefavoritism. And leyo nto leyo inokwenzakala, I'm not blaming you, I'm not pointing fingers, but inokwenziwa yini nina nithatha ama favorites wenu nizowanikeza amathenda. It happened like that. I suggest ukuthi nangabe mhlambe kuzofakwa leso sporo eTsakane via Germiston, kube nabantu base Germiston Tsakane who must work there. Another thing engithanda ukuyisho futhi hence ibuya indaba yama train. Are you going to work hand in hand to get rid or to find a place of stay? Yala bantu lawa bahlala la. Prakpane station, there are people who are staying there. What are you going to do about those people? Polak Park station, Springs station, there are people who are staying there. Bakhe imikuku ngamasela. What are you going to do about them? Thanks, ngiyabonga.
I greet you all. My name is Bashin Malinga. I am from Tsakane Ward 35 under Community Safety. I support this bill, but with conditions. Firstly, I have a question concerning PRASA or Sunrail. I think that should a train pass Tsakane Railway, there will be there was mention that there would be a train that would pass Tsakane from Germiston going to Boksburg. But then now, I don't know what happened with that project, because had that happened, it would have contributed to job creation, because people from Tsakane would have been able to get employment. Should that project be reinstalled or continue the train project, I think there should be security measures as well considered. And also there is an issue of favoritism, which was mentioned by one of my brothers who spoke here. And I'm not really pointing fingers to you, but there is a problem with regards to tenders, because tenders are being given to people that are chosen by those who like them. So that is contributing negatively as well. With regards to the job opportunities, should there be a train station in the one that goes from Tsakane to Germiston? I think that people who should be employed there must be local people that will be working in those train stations. Also, with regards to the reinstallation of trains in areas where there are no trains currently, I would like to know what would happen to people who currently live there. Will they be relocated? What will happen? Because people have built informal settlements there. They are living in those places. So now what will happen to those people? Thank you.
Dumelang. Nna ka lebitso ke Nchabele Ngosia from Ward 45. Ke under portfolio ya local economic development. Leader ye fetjang go lela go inkabile somehow, but le rena re na le same problem ya ka mo Katorias ka mo Foslores ya re utlwile gore taba ya spore and all those stuff it tlo ba teng, but to our surprise gore e nka nako ke dia boipiletšo ya go ba gore re a itlhoka ntho ewe as monotho wa rena as badudi ba South Africa. So ya bobedi ke kopa go dia boipiletšo ka go Minister of Transport ka that bus ya Harambee se bus services le yona ile ra utlwa ka na re ne re kopa or at least batho ba ka mo Foslo ba kgone go rotoita, ba kgone ba bang ba berekela bo Pitori, ba bang ba berekela bo Tembisa, so ba kgone go ba le access ya go mosebetsi. Number 2, ke ba le challenge ya ya gore how can re bue ka the railway system while re suffer electricity as the entire South Africa. Re tlo e sebetsa jwang because of batho a re na electricity o berekiswa di automatic generator and then all those stuff. I don't know ke ya leadership. And then le batho go suffer ga gona le poleke tse leng gore le no a re bua tse a bana electricity at all. Batho ba go ile izinyoga ba khwela ka mekukhung a bana di temporary electricity jwale ka di squatter camp tse ding. So ntwe le yona ke challenge ko masepaleng wa borena. Ya boraro ke tlo bua ka taba ya go tura ga dijo. Makhura a tura ka kakaretso. Dijo di a tura. Mo Lincoln le tšhelete ya Mr. Ramaphosa e a e fang badudi ba borena o fuišile 350 e feleletša e sa e diedi batho selo le bridge ya yona ya gore motho if o a qualify ya gore o thola tšhelete eo o e thola January, March, what I told o tlo e thola ka June o sa no thola same 350 a ba e back pay. So a ke tsebe gore na re ka idea jwang re badudi le leadership le yona at least ge ba ka kgona gore ba increase at least e kgone go lekana badudi le ge ba ka idea 5 or something because 350 ke tšhelete e nyana ke a leboga.
Before we interpret, can I make an appeal? We came here to talk about the rail safety bill, which I tried to explain earlier what it's all about.
Bagaetsho elang tlhoko modulasetulo a re tlile fano go tla go bua ka tsa tshireletsego ya molaotlhomo ono wa rona mo diporong ga re tla go bua ka dilo tse dingwe di sele.
I did appeal that the community is under immense pressure with many problems, but here we are here to talk about the rail safety bill.
Ke ile ka dumalana go tloga fela go tshimologong gore ya ka maloko a setšhaba le na le mathata a seng kana ka sepe ra itse seo mme re tlile fano go tla go bua ka molaotlhomo wa tsa tshireletsego mo diporong.
And the reason we came here is because a public hearing is a process where parliamentarians listen to inputs towards a piece of legislation.
And then lebaka la go bo re le fano jaaka ha luitse ke gore rona jaaka ba parlamente re latelela molaotheo o dirang gore re tle go reetsa ditshwalo tsa lona ka ga se se leng mo teng ga molaotlhomo ono.
It's not a meeting that is called by a ward councillor to discuss issues of the ward. It's not a meeting called by the MEC for community safety to talk about community policing forum. It's not a meeting called by the municipality to talk about IDP and all. No, it's specific to rail safety.
So re tla tlhokofane fa gore eno ga se kopano e leng gore e biditswe ke ba councilora ba tla go bua ka ditiro dingwe tse di amanang le tsa bone kgotsa kopano e biditsweng ke MEC a batla gore go tle go buiwa ka dilo tse dingwe tse e leng gore o na le tsone mo mogopolong le baagi ke kopano e leng gore re biditswe fano fa ke molaotlhomo o re nang le one go tswa ya ka ga ke tlhalosa fela ko tshimologong e le gore re latelele molaotheo wa rona.
And that is why we are unable to answer questions because we are not representing a municipality. We are not representing PRASA. We are not representing Transnet. We are lawmakers who are seeking input to a particular law in front of us.
Ke lona lebaka la go bo re sa kgone go araba dipotso tsa lona ka gonne ga re fano jaaka ba emedi ba PRASA kgotsa ba emedi ba masepala kgotsa ba emedi ba mekgatlho e mengwe mme re tlile fano jaaka ha re tlhalositse ka se re se tletseng fano.
So I'm going to appeal then that those who still want to speak, unless we have exhausted all inputs, because there have been inputs which we appreciate and we welcome, they will certainly be looked into as we finish. But if there are no further inputs, there is no sin or anything wrong with us appreciating that we have exhausted what we wanted to say.
mme jaanong ha e le gore go santsane go na le bangwe ba ba santsane ba batla go bua ba tla bua mme ha e le gore gongwe ga gona sepe se se amanang le molaotlhomo se e leng gore re batla go bua ka sone re tla tsaya gore re kgaretlhile gotlhe gore neng re go tletse fano go tla go bua ka gone ebile re itumelela ditshwaelo tseo le di dirileng re tla ya go nna fa fatshe re ya go di akanyetsa.
Thank you very much.
Re a leboga.
Chairperson, with the last speaker on the floor, after what you commented on issues about the bill, unfortunately, according to my note-taking, there was absolutely nothing that was talking to the bill. So I would like to sit down. Thank you.
Dumela, le nna ke leboha modulasetulo le komiti ya hae, ke leboha kaofela ba tlileng. Le nna ne ke re ke tlo dumellana le bili, gore bili e ya railway safety e bohlokwa haholo. Le nna ne ke sena ntho tse ngata fela gore ne ke hlahisa tlhahiso fela gore ke nna Samuel Molefe ke tswa cohort 62 ene ke ho infrastructure. Ke titsitswe fela ke hore ke kenye fela hore le rona tulo e re dulang ho yona ke tulo e le horeng e phua and then e mahareng a Zonke le Makakola and hona le railway line e tsamaya mo but e thuta dithuto tse e ke di goods and then rona ne re batla hore at least la re ka la re utlwela le dutse fatshe committee le re kenyetse mohlomong e thotang batho re kgone hore transporto e be ngata ya bane hona tja re bua ka transport e le hore ke di taxi fela batho ba kgone go ya mosebetsing. Le nna ke re ke a leboha ka bili eo ke be mokhutsanyana ke a leboha.
Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Samuel Molefe, and then I'm coming from ward number 62. And then I want to thank you very much, Chair, and also to say thank you to the committee that is here with you and members of the society at large within the House. I do support the bill, Chair, and then I think it centers around safety, and it's something that I believe that is of utmost important. Well, I had a lot to say, but I'm just going to be brief. And one of the things that I would like to mention is that I'm from a very poor area that is between Zonke and Magagula. What happens between these two places where we live is that there is a railway line, but what actually passes there is a goods train. And we would like to be considered for a passenger train to also operate on this rail line so that it can serve us. Because when we speak about transport in our area over there right now, we can only talk about taxis. And that's exactly what people need. We also need a goods train, a passenger train to operate within our area so that the mode of transport is not only limited to the taxis as it is right now. Thank you very much, Chair. I just wanted to say that in brief.
Sanbonani, ikamalami January Masimula. Ngihlala e-103 ngiseva under i-LED. She nami bengicela nje ukuthi indaba imiphakathi yakhula kuneyindawo whereby wakumention ukuthi kuzoba nezibhoro kuzoba nezindawo zezitimela. Sicela ukuthi lezo indawo kezicathangelwe zenziwe same applies to le yakwaNdebele eMloto. Besicela lezo zinto nizithathe serious. Sengicela and okwesibili sicela i-harsher punishment for those abaphula imithetho. Ema-training sekuyaphuzwa kuyabhenywa manje kunenyawupe manje iyathengiswa. Sibona ngathi security sethu si-weak kakhulu for ukuthi senze umsebenzi. Sicela ukuthi nitrain abantu benze umsebenzi. Ngiyaphela lapho.
Thank you very much. My name is January Masilela. I just want to be brief by emphasizing this issue of railway safety. Like, for instance, the government has promised to start the projects in different communities to build roads. I'm sorry, not roads, but a railway in those communities like Moloto. But nothing has happened so far. So I'm asking the government to take these projects very seriously because they can benefit the community so much. And again, regarding consequence management, I'm asking the government to consider making follow-up for those people who break the law or who destroy the infrastructure. This is a very serious matter, and we need our government to intervene so that the communities can benefit. Thank you very much.
Greetings to all, Mr. Chairperson and the committee, all protocol observed. My name is Mokone Mushake from Ward 36 in Ekurhuleni. Mr. Chairperson, I second the bill and I thank you and the committee for the opening of the Soweto line, even though within a month it's encountering problems. My input will be basically on safety and crime, as I believe they go together. Safety on trains, access control or on overcrowding. The bill, it's bit silence about that, and the safety of employees during abnormal circumstances, which include crimes. I therefore recommend that we reintroduce the railway police, which I believe it was working very well. And somewhere along the line, there was an initiative of combining SABS with the railway police or railway security. But that initiative is now, I think it's faded somewhere. Or maybe they need empowerment, because everywhere you will hear there are vacancies if the people are ineffective. Lastly, I would like to request the committee to speed up the consultation process of these public meetings, the implementation of the bill, and the reopening of the lines around Gauteng. As I believe, no effective railway network, the economy is in danger. I therefore urge all of us to take care of the railway network, regardless of it being for the passenger or the goods trains. I thank you, sir.
Molweni nonke sihlalo nekomiti ndithi mveli nengqanga zayo. Igama lam ndimkone Muhlake from Ward 36 Ekurhuleni. Ndiyayixhasa lo mthetho oyilwayo. Ndibulela nokuba kuye kwaphindwa kwavulwa indlela zololiwe eSoweto. Ndifuna ukujonga kakhulu ukhuseleko lololiwe nokugcwala kakhulu kololiwe okungafanelekanga. Uquka ulwaphulo lomthetho oluye kulenzeke phakathi kololiwe Ndicela ke kubuyiselwe amapolisa ezitishini zololiwe ukuze kukhuseleke. Ndiyeva uba bakhona abantu abagadayo kodwa ukusebenza kwabo akubonakali. Okokugqibela ndicela ukusetyenziswa kwalo mthetho uyilwayo nokubuyiselwa kokusebenza kololiwe kuqhubeke. Ukungasebenzi kololiwe kwenza kube yingozi kwezoqoqosho kungahambi kakuhle. Ndiyabulela.
Thank you very much for the last round of speakers. I think given the last comments I made and the inputs we have received in the last couple of minutes, I think it would be fair to say that we should bring this meeting to its logical conclusion.
Harisna go reetsa ditshwalo tse di sa tswang go romela mo go rona fano mo metsotswaneng e le mmalwa e fetileng re akanya gore maemo a re bontsha gore eno e ka nna ya nna nako ya gore re tlise kopano ya rona mo bokhutlhong jwa yone.
Do I have agreement or do I have objection to that?
A le dumalana le nna kgotsa go na le ba ba sa dumalaneng le nna mo go seo?
We agree.
Re a dumalana.
Thank you very much.
Ke a le leboga.
Now, let me make the very few comments in closing. Firstly, I think let's remind each other of the 16 days of activism.
Jaanong e re ke dire ditshwaelo di le mmalwanyana fela me sa ntlha a re gopotsaneng fano fa bagaetsho ka malatsi a le 16 a rona.
Each and every one of us has got a responsibility
mongwe le mongwe wa rona o na le boikarabelo
to speak against violence against women, children, and the vulnerable.
jwa go bua kgatlhanong le tirisa dikgoka mo basading mo baneng le mo go bao ba sa sireletsegang.
Let's not look away, especially us men.
Rona banna segolobogolo a re se ke ra tlhokomologa ntlha eo.
Let us not keep quiet.
Re se ke ra didimala.
Let us not enjoy the sexist jokes about women and their sexuality.
Re tlogele go nna re itumelela metlae e batho ba e dirang ka bong jwa basadi le metlae e leng fela kganya gore ke basadi re ba tshwara ka maemo a kwa tlase.
Through that, we will be promoting or we will be supporting, we will be encouraging that people behave properly against women and children.
Ka gonne ha re dira jalo go tla bo go bontsha gore re rotloetsa batho gore ba se ka ba itshwara ka tsela e siameng tebang le basadi mmogo le bana.
Having said that, as we relate to the bill that we have been listening to you,
jaanong morago ga dintlha tseo mmakere e re ka jaanong re sa tswa go reetsa dintlha tsa lona ka ga molaotlhomo.
firstly, we thank each and everyone who took time to be here.
Re batla go leboga botlhe ba lona ba ba tsereng nako ya go tla go nna teng fano.
We do not take it lightly.
Ga re lebele seno kwa tlase.
As I said when I started, each and every speaker has been recorded and there are people who are recording what has been said.
Jaaka ha ke ile ka bua kwa tshimologong se bui sengwe le sengwe mafoko a gago a ne a rekodiwa a ne a kwalwa ebile gape go ne go rekodiwa sengwe le sengwe se o neng o se bua.
As I said, our being here is about the rail safety bill. So our discussion later as a committee will be limited to the rail safety bill.
Jaaka ha ke ne ke bua molaotlhomo wa rona o ka ga tshireletsego mo diporong e tla re ha re tlotla mmogo rona jaaka komiti re tla be re shebile re bua fela ka maemo a tsa tshireletsego mo diporong.
We do recognize and acknowledge as a committee that communities are facing numerous challenges.
Ra dumalana ebile ra itse jaaka komiti gore maloko a setšhaba a lebane le methale-thale ya mathata.
But we encourage communities to know their ward councillors, to know their local leaders so that these things do not wait for an opportunity like this. Rather, they are addressed at the right times.
Me re kopa maloko a setšhaba gore lo direng gore lo itse ba councilora ba lona lo itse baeteledipele ba lona gore ha go na le mathata a mofuta ono a ska a emela dinako tse di tshwana le tseno mme a rarabollo go santsane go na le nako.
As it relates to this bill, this was the end of our third province today.
jaaka ha ke ne ke ile ka tlhalosa fano fa e ne re mo bokhutlhong jwa porofense ya rona ya boraro e re etelang.
Next year, we'll do 6 remaining provinces.
Mo ngwageng o tlang re tlile go etela diporofense tse di setseng tse 6.
Our target is that by the end of March, we would have concluded our public hearings.
Re batla gore kwa bokhutlhong jwa March re be re konetse dikokwana tseno tsotlhe tsa rona tsa go tla go reetsa maloko a setšhaba.
The team that we are with would have produced a report with recommendations of what we have received from each province.
Ka nako eo setlhopha se re berekang le sona se tla be se tlhagisitse reporto ya ditshwaelo tsotlhe tse di leng tsa tlhagisiwa mo diporofenseng tsotlhe tse robongwe.
We will also look that the recommendations were made are fit to be included in legislation or they should go somewhere else in regulations or policy.
Me re tla be re sheba ditshisinyo tse ba di dirileng gore a di tshwanelegela gore di ka tsengwa mo molaong kgotsa di ka fetisediwa go dikgato tse dingwe tse di kwa pele e le gore di tla di kgone go tshwarwa ka tsela e tshwanetseng.
We will deliberate as a committee and agree on those inputs and conclude the bill as a draft bill and present it to the National Assembly.
Re tlile go tlotla mo go rona jaaka komiti go leba ditshwalo tse di ntseng jalo re tsaya molaotlhomo ono o re o baya fa pele ga kokoano bosetšhaba e le gore o tlo kgone go neelwa tlhokomelo e tshwanetseng.
Lastly, again, there is still an opportunity to submit written comments.
Me mma ke konele gape ka gore ra kere lo santsane lo na le sebaka sa gore lo ka re naya ditshwalo tsa lona tse di kwadilweng jaanong.
You can either do it now, as I said earlier, or you can get information there on my right, your left, as to how you can submit this written information beyond today.
Lo ka dira jalo gone gompieno jaana kgotsa lo ka ya fa go bone fa tafoleng mme lo ba botsa gore mo malatsing a tlang lo ka dira jang gore le kgone go ba romella ditshwaelo tsa lona tse di kwadilweng ha rona re seo fano re setse re tsamaile.
I want to take this opportunity once more to thank you a lot on behalf of the committee.
Ke mo boemong jwa komiti ke batla go le leboga thata go tswa pelong go le lebogela go bolele fano.
I thank the parliamentary support staff who have made it possible and practical for us to conduct these hearings.
Re batla go leboga le badiri ba ke monokeng ba ba tswang kwa parlamenteng ba ba ileng ba dira gore kokoano eno ya rona e atlege.
I want to thank the interpreters who have been with us despite some challenges here and there, but you have done an excellent job.
Me re batla go leboga le bafetoledi ba rona ba ba ntseng ba na le rona ka dinako tsotlhe ba ile ba nna le dikgwetlho fale le fale le fa go ntse jalo ba dirile tiro ya mabogo a duleng diatla.
To my colleagues for sacrificing their time and weekend, they have been on the road weekends, no family time.
Le badiri ka nna ba ba fano fa ke batla go ba leboga go bo ba re naya mafelo beke a bona ba nnile le mafelo beke a mantsi ba le mo maetong ba sena nako e ba ka I spendang le malapa a bone.
Can I, on behalf of the committee, wish each and everyone a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Me mo boemong jwa komiti ke batla go le eleletsa Keresemose yo itumedisang le ngwaga o mošwa wa nnala.
Those who will be traveling, travel safely and do not drink and drive.
Me ba batla ba tsaya maeto re kopa gore le tseng maeto ka tshireletsego mme le soka lwa kgweetsa lo itshietse.
Stay safe until we see each other when we see each other.
Nna nka tshireletsego go fitla ka nako e re tla be re bonana gape le lona.
Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.
Re lo lebogile kopano ya rona e fedile.
There is food prepared and we'd like that you remain on your seats. You will be directed as to how the food will be served.
Lo baakanyeditswe dijo re kopa gore
Thank you
lo
very
nne mo mannong a lona ba tla lo kaela gore lo tla newa dijo ka mokgwa o ntseng jang.
Close your eyes, make a wish, and blow